The engine is starting up. Three, two, one.
Mormon space lives.
Let's create lives.
Mormon space lives. God the Father has a body. It's a very tone body.
He looks good, he looks good.
Mormon space lives. Mormon space lives. Basement, basement, basement. Basement, basement, basement. Magic underwear fitting tight. Magic underwear is feeling right.
Space-wise.
Mormon space wise. Mormon space wise. Lord Cola.
I would like to have intimacy with you.
On the planet of Naboo. Magic underwear. Where? Right there. Mormon space wise.
Let's create lives.
Mormon space wise. God the Father has a body. It's a very tone body.
He looks good, he looks good, he looks good, he looks good, 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 good. Space, sex, space, sex.
Space, space, Mormon space wise. Mormon space wise. Space error. Mormon space wise.
Mormon space-wise.
Mormon space wise.
Let's create space, sex, space.
Oh yeah! There's only one thing that can bring this world together, and that begins with you. The word begins with you, not you. I'm gonna tell you what word it is. Usury! On the dance floor. Get that ass up! Bankers, get on the floor. Bankers, make the people poor. Bankers, get more paid. Bankers, get more name. Get more name. I wanna see your ass poor. CEOs, yeah, I'm talking to you. Get more hoes, get more paid, get more votes, get more laid. I wanna see the CEOs ruining lives to the beat. Ruin those lives in 141 ppm. Oh yeah. wanna see the bankers on the floor. I wanna see your ass poor. Make it clap. Make it fiat clap. Shake that ass. Who's ready? On the dance floor. Aha! Oh yeah! Bankers, get on the floor. Bankers, make the people poor. Bankers, get more paid. Bankers, get more name. Only one thing can bring this world together. Destruction of the middle class. Ha-ha! And more fiat cash in my bank account. Bankers, get on the floor. Bankers, make the people poor. Bankers, get more paid. Bankers,
Hey piggy, hey piggy, don't make me go back to that 9 to 5. Wage cut ain't no way to be alive. Don't make me go back to 9 to 5. Wage cut ain't no way to be alive. Ooh, hey piggy, just give me one more super chat. Hey piggy, just give me one more super chance. Hey piggy, just give me one more super chance. Hey piggy, just give me one. Ooh.
When I'm with my boo, 1 and 1 miss 2, then it mix free. Yeah, we had the baby. She want Versace, she want Gucci. Gotta lay down all my bands on the Lambo, cause she don't like my Volvo, no, no. Yeah, she got a diamond grill on her baby teeth. Coolest kid in the nursery, but you know, I'm not a materialist, an idealist. I flow with the transcendental argument. Reading Wittgenstein, investigate my girl philosophically. Yeah, do you know what I'm saying? I just want the money.
Hey piggy, just give me one more super chat. Hey piggy, just give me one more super chance. Hey piggy, just give me one more super chance. Hey piggy,
Yeah,
just give me one.
yeah,
Ooh.
straight up, I'm simple for you, girl. I want my heart, want you in my world. I see you in the super chat, I see you wanna go from me. I see you on the OnlyFans and you've got my heart in your hand. Please don't crush it, girl, understand that I'm a simp, but I'm proud. I'm a geek, but I'm proud. And I wanna feel your breath at a convention. I want my picture of you groping my ass to be on social media. I want my friends to see it on Discord. I'm gonna upload it to my subreddit and they all gonna see it. My friends, they gonna like it, they gonna retweet it, but I feel that it's gonna be the greatest moment of my life, and I want you to be a part of it, girl. Yeah.
Don't make me go back to that 9 to 5. Wage cut ain't no way to be alive. Don't make me go back to 9 to 5. Wage cut ain't no way to be alive. Ooh, hey piggy, just give me one more super chat.
Mormon space wives. Let's create lives. Mormon space wives. God the Father has a body. It's a very toned body. He looks good. Mormon space wives. Mormon space wives. Space sex. Space sex. Magic underwear fitting tight. Magic underwear is feeling right. Mormon space wives. Mormon space wives. Lords of Cola. I would like to have intimacies with you on the planet of Naboo. Mormon space wives. Magic underwear. Where? Right there. Mormon space wives. Let's create lives. Mormon space wives. God the Father has a body.
They stole some Sumerian technology that allowed them to predict outcomes, and that technology stopped working in 2012. We're going to get into that tomorrow. I find it to be fascinating. I wonder if they saw Charlie Kirk.
Black kings, black bishops, black players, people of the chocolate persuasion. Black kings, black bishops, black players, people of the chocolate persuasion. Black kings, black bishops, black players, people of the chocolate persuasion. Black kings, black bishops, black players, people of the chocolate persuasion.
But the Dark Ages was a time when black people ruled Europe. So when you go into the real history, you'll see King James was...
That's King James right there. That's James LeBron. That's King LeBron right there.
black. He was not a white guy. You'll see his whole lineage of kings.
Black kings, black bishops, black players, people of the chocolate persuasion. Black kings, black bishops, black players, people of the chocolate persuasion. Black kings, black bishops, black players, people of the chocolate persuasion. Black kings, black bishops, black players, people of the chocolate persuasion.
Who was a homosexual himself, who was in love with his sister Lucretia, who they made the image of Lucretia to be Mary. And that became the Renaissance era.
Lucretia. So hold on, you telling me Lucretia? That's a black name right there. How you gonna say that the people that was framing the black people were also black? That don't make no sense. Lucretia's a black as hell name. Lucretia. The church even allowed it, you know what I'm saying? The church allowed for straight pimping. That have been suppressed. Listen to my brother. In the 1500s, it was legal to be a pimp. Black kings, black bishops, black players, people of the chocolate persuasion. Black kings, black bishops, black players, people of the chocolate persuasion. They would get cringecore Wigxanthium mumble rap is the next song, y'all. And all I'm gonna do is pick a corporate product. What's the worst corporate brand that you could think of? And I'm just gonna repeat the brand names.
It's about that time.
Long John Silver got that Long John Silver, got that Long John Quiznos, Pringles, Subway, JC Penney corn chips, JC Penney corn chips, Long John Quiznos, Pringles, Subway, Long John Silver got that Long John Silver, got that Long John Quiznos, Pringles, Subway, JC Penney corn chips, JC Penney corn chips, Long John Quiznos, Pringles, Subway, Long John Silver got that Long John Silver, got that Long John Quiznos, Pringles, Subway, JC Penney corn chips, JC Penney corn chips, Long John Quiznos, Pringles, Subway, Long John Silver got that Long John Silver, got that Long John Quiznos, Pringles, Subway, JC Penney corn chips, JC Penney corn chips, Long John Quiznos, Pringles, Subway. All you do is you repeat stupid corporate. Here we go. Carbo-Crew, 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 Planet Fitness, Planet Fitness, McDonough, 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 McDonough. Cringecore mumble rap.
Cringecore mumble rap. Cringecore mumble rap.
I got that blockbuster. I got that blockbuster. I got that Palantir. I got that Palantir. I got that Wells Fargo. I got that Wells Fargo. Tylenol. hotter no. I got no disco. I got no disco. I got that TJ Maxx. I got that TJ Maxx. I got Balenciaga. I got Balenciaga. I got Balenciaga. I got Balenciaga. This is fun. I'm like a rapper now. I'm a rapper now. Damn, I just realized it. You bet it's cringe. It's called cringecore, dummy. Dude thinks he's on the cutting edge, the cusp of cutting edge, calling me cringe.
Oh, we got a pretender in the house. Y'all know what happens when we got these people trying to step to my throne. There's only one Wigga Emperor of Wigzantium, and it's your boy right here. So when we got a pretender in the house, a pretender to the lone throne of the kingdom, aka myself, well, we must do a little bit of exposing, you know what I'm saying? So I went full drip. I went full drip tonight because we have a pretender to the throne who's, shall we say, acting up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? He acting up a little bit, acting a fool, for real, you know. Now we got a challenger coming out of what's called Blessed God Studios, Blessed God Industries, excuse me. Blessed God Industries is over here making a big old stank. Out of what? I don't know. I mean, I'm like, damn. I'm like Slick Rick over here. I was like, damn, boy, what this white boy got going with me? What this white boy got going with me? You know what I'm saying? Did he not know? There's only one BIPOC E-Diva queen of Wigzantium, and it's your boy right here. And we already had a vote a while back, and then it turned out that it was not Vanilla Ice, it was not B-Rad, and it was not Ali G that were the OGs of Wigzantium. It was your boy right here. Now, who's putting out fire tracks? It sure as hell ain't these lame, dead old tracks from your boy right here with this damn, dude got a damn pussy hat. Dude went to the orange pussy hat march over there with them lesbians and the leftists. And your boy, what his name is? Rus-run, because he keep running. Or, excuse me, Puss-run, because he keep running and getting skirt. Now, your boy over here, he got them lame-ass tracks. He don't even compete. We're going to open it up in a second, don't worry. I do have to do a little bit of my beefs, though, you know what I'm saying? I got a little bit. We beefing right now. Rappers used to beef back in the day before they was all gay. Right? Rappers used to beef before they was all touching butts. But turns out they was always touching butts. So listen, hey, Ruslan, man, you got to read the room, son. You got to read the room, son. Ain't nobody down with school marm stuff no more. Ain't nobody caring about no tone policing. Right? I'm over here tone loc policing. You over there tone policing. Scared thing. Ooh, he's scared. Listen, I'm about to open it up. Y'all quit freaking out. Don't worry. You're going to get your chance. So, listen, we're going to watch Rus-run's video. Dude should have named himself Run DMC, because every time you try to set up a debate, dude run it. Dude on the run. Listen, he play too much. Man, Ruslan, you play too much, man. Man, Ruslan, you play too much. Man, your rap's ashy, Ruslan. Shit, your rap ashy, man. I ain't even afraid to say it. I ain't even got no flow. You already heard multiple tracks of me just freaking cringing around. Imagine if I was serious. Imagine if I was serious. I mean, we got better beats. We got doper beats with freaking cringecore than your boy Rus-run over here with his orange pussy hat march that he went to right here. Check this out. What dude is out here? Was he directing traffic? Hey, yo, Wigger directed traffic. We got Wigger traffic. Hey, don't jaywalk, okay? You could see walk, though. Dude out here directing traffic with an orange hat on. Illegal as hell. Illegal as hell trying to direct traffic in a rap video. Dude's over here, violation. Dude got handing out tickets. Blessed God Industries writing tickets out here on the streets. Shit. What kind of beats do we got going over here? We're gonna go to his video and then we're gonna open up, don't worry. What kind of flow do we got even over here? Dude's over here like, he's like, well, did I get lost? He's like, did I wander off of my Million Man March? Hey yo, the Million Man March is over in DC, Ruslan. You done wandered off into the damn projects where they building houses over there. What you doing, son? Get back to the streets. You wandered. Dude thought he was going to get a damn construction job on the side in his rap video. He said, I gotta pay for this rap video somehow. I'm gonna get over here. He said, I'm gonna straight up lay some drywall on these boys. I'm about to put some drywall up. And I'm probably gonna paint it. Probably some pretty colors, son. And then I'm gonna get back to my Million Man March.
Proof is in the pudding, I've been putting in the rougher. Work that they don't wanna do, that's why I got the upper.
Dude over here looking like broke Andrew Bustamante. Dude look like Andrew boosted ass, eh? Dude busted. Andrew busted ass, eh?
Hand advantage feeling like I'm at the...
Look at that Masonic symbolism in his video, dude. He's trying to do the 33rd degree, the steps. Walk up the steps, son. Walk up the steps and get initiated into the mysteries, boy. Yeah, boy.
Last supper, never...
That's a joke, by the way. All right, what's going on? Dude's over here in the middle of Memphis. Well, ain't nobody around. Just talking to himself. There's one just random Gen X dude with a bald head over there watching, saying, what's this white dude doing in an orange hat trying to direct traffic? There ain't even no traffic on the street, son. How you gonna direct traffic like a human orange traffic cone when there ain't nobody in the street, son? Yeah.
Vegan beef got me through the summer. Eating more chicken.
Vegan beef eating in the summer.
Cause the cows are living longer. Going to the gym, but my...
Dude ascending on the ladder of Jacob. He up there at the top of the pyramid, son. He's conquering San Fran, conquering Cali, conquering SoCal. His pants look like they sagging a little bit.
Going to the gym.
He look like he's in Memphis, though. What the heck?
But my mind is getting stronger. Andy Jones better than...
You having a rap beef right now, son. Yo, if I was going to go up against YouTube's biggest wigger streamer, you think I wasn't going to come correct? You think I wasn't going to come hard? You think I wasn't going to come Billy Corson hard, son? Yeah.
Being owned by any corporation or artists who are silly clones. I'm on my own. Keeping God on the throne and keep my family close. Create my own moment.
Damn, dude's over here next to the short bus. Short bus shorty. Short bus shorty. He just got off of the damn short bus to make that video alone. Dude was on a short bus and said, hey, pull the bus over. I'm about to make a rap video right there by myself. Let me set up my camera by myself in the middle of the street. But I'm gonna wear my orange hat so I can direct traffic to make sure ain't nobody on the streets.
Own momentum, the venom gotta go. Speaking up from the essence, checking in on the next one. The generation to come could really be coming one of the best ones.
Holy crap, dude, that's a tongue twister. I can't even tell what he's saying. Broke Bustamante. If I didn't know and I saw Ruslan's, I would think this is an Arab man. This is an Arab man rapping in my face over here. But he an Armenian. He an Armenian. How would Billy Corson? He an Armenian. That boy right there, an Armenian. He got that Bay Area flow.
Wave now, way downtown, sound profound. In the city, they way out, stay like...
Oh, hold on. Now he's at another flight of stairs. What the heck, dude? Yo, the symbolism in this video is blowing my mind right now. Dude was over here on one set of stairs off of Reddit, the mystical stairs that appear out in the middle of the woods and shit. And now dude's over here in the city on another flight of stairs. Blowing my mind, boy. How many stairs can Ruslan go up? I don't know, but if there's a debate, he ain't gonna show up.
Out, stay down with my spouse, break out, show up unannounced. Why these
Dude's got he's got the damn the Jordans, the Michael Jordans that look like the Bill Gates New Balance. He bought the New Balance version of Jordans, which that means you an elder millennial if you buying the New Balance that looks like the if you buying the Jordans that look like the New Balance, son, what kind of drip is even that?
unannounced? Why these clowns play house, make an honest woman out of her?
Ruslan's out here, he's charged up a mountain for his video. He's got to pay Gavin Newsom tax just to use a mountain, to hire a mountain for his video. I was starting to make fun of him. I thought, oh, he ain't even put no money into it, dude. It's just him walking around the streets. And now I realized, shit, he done hired a whole ass mountain for this video. Damn, boy. What the hell? No wonder he was directing traffic. Right? That short bus that he came in on, it lost a damn tire, a flat tire. What the hell is Ruslan doing cleaning up out in the middle of nowhere in San Diego's? Dude got a flat tire. But hey, that's a environmental hero right there. That's an environmentally conscious rapper. He ain't gonna leave no damn toxic rubber laying around San Diego's. Shit. If I was Ruslan, shit, I would probably I would pimp out that short bus. You know what I'm saying? You need a few more short bus shorties on that short bus, son.
Change your personal life counts more than you know. Trying to keep it cordially and be moving orderly though.
What happened to the tire? Shit, dude, it don't take a lot to make. Man, I feel bad now. I feel bad. I feel like I feel like I've been making fun of a damn Down syndromes or something, because now Ruslan's over here smiling, happy as hell. Just like, and all it took was one damn tire. It only took one tire to make this boy happy. And I was over here making fun of him. I was starting to feel bad now. I'm starting to get a little bit of a pang in my conscience. You know what I'm saying? Because it just took one tire to make this boy happy. He's beaming, dude. Just beaming. Listen, somebody send Ruslan a tire or two and tell him I'm sorry. Send him a damn Michelin. Send him a Goodyear. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel bad now. Son. Take that. He was over. Ruslan got the last laugh, son. Because now I feel bad for making fun of a slow boy who was completely happy, completely just exuberant because he got a damn tire. I'm sorry, I feel bad now. Maybe I should take off on my gear. Listen, we're gonna open it up. We're gonna play a little bit of Ruslan. Not any more of this music, but we're gonna play this video because he came at us, son. He said, yo. He said to his crew, psst, hey, crew, we're going to have to take down these boys. We're going to have to take down these orphos because they are insufferables. We the insufferables. Hillary talked about the deplorables. We the insufferables, son. And Ruslan is on the prowl. About to take us down, son. Yeah, boy. About to take us down. All right, let's see. Where's this video at? Where is the video? Every time I think of bless God, I think of Kenneth Copeland. Bless God, right? Bless God Studios. All right, he says I crashed out on him. So listen, according to Ruslan, anything you do, whether you're responding, whether you're joking, whether you're telling him to hush up, it's all a meltdown, a crash out. Crash out. So, I mean, if I disagree and make fun of you, that's a crash out? Do I seem like I'm crashing out right now?
All right.
All right. Yo, let's get it. Let's get it. And for those that don't know, this is the Wigger Pretender right here. This is the only ordained emperor of Byzantium. And this man is a pretender. We about to expose all of that. And since he said, I got too many Zens going to my brain. Excuse me, son. I'm on Alps, boy. It's Talker's Alps. Your boy Talker. Now, somebody says, stop being mean to Ruslan. He's not a debater. Actually, Ruslan has been trying for the last year to debate. He wanted to debate Nick Fuentes. He made a video almost every damn day calling out Nick Fuentes because he wanted to debate. He made videos and called out Candace, Queen Quandas on Twitter constantly. I want to debate you. I want to debate you. I want to debate you. So he wants to debate so bad, but it turns out it looks like he just wants to debate people with bigger audiences and channels. But wait a minute. That's apparently the only reason that I would have ever beefed with Ruslan. It's because I want access, boy. He said this man wants access and he's mad because I ain't give him access. Excuse me? Are you a crypto bro with a Traders University on Telegram? Are you a red pill bro who gonna instruct me on how to get booty and I gotta join your Players University? Or is you Ruslan? Bro, I don't care about your clout. Trying to flex that in my face. Get out of here, son. Plus, you had me on your channel. What you talking about? Oh, he's insufferable. He can't be dealt with. How come you had me on your channel? Took me out to dinner, boy. What you mean? What you mean? Now, all of this started not because of me. Everybody's like, you always causing this stuff. You so mean. Why you doing all this? I didn't do anything to this dude. This dude started it by bad optics that everybody else called him out for, and I jumped in. And of course, he only got mad, really mad because of me. Because I'm the Pope of the Ortho Bros. Son, get it straight. I'm not in a religious office. I'm the Emperor of Byzantium, and you a pretender to the throne. So shit or get off. You know what I'm saying? Hey, listen, we can do a lot of wordplay up in here. If you're a slow IQ low boy, a low IQ slow boy, or a slow IQ low boy, if you short, you a short king. Listen, this ain't for you, son. If you a soft man, don't say the mean words. This ain't for you, son. This is for real wiggers over here. You know what I'm saying? This ain't for you. You could go back to the damn crying trough, right? And drink your own tears out to the trough that you cry in. That ain't gotta make sense. I don't know what the hell a crying trough. I don't know. This shit ain't gotta make sense. What you talking about? Get your butt back to the crying trough and then drink the tears out the trough, son. This ain't for soft people over here. Although that Bless God logo in the back, it kind of looked like soft serve. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I'm gonna go over there behind Ruslan and push on a machine that's gonna spit out, you know, some of that soft serve over there. It looked like a Bless God soft serve service back there. Get some ice cream. Get a little bit of ice cream over the little chocolate. Little ice cream. Listen, son. Enough of this madness and nonsense. We got to get serious over here. We got a cereal over here. All right, what's he got to say? Why we crashing out, son? I'm making fun of it. I ain't crashing out, but I make jokes, boy.
To my Orthodox homies,
Oh boy, hopefully that discussion with Josh Nadeau wasn't so bad, huh? Did pretty good, didn't he, huh?
Yeah, but ain't nobody was criticizing you on whether he did good. It was the optics, son. It was the optics, boy.
No, listen, I understand the optics of Josh.
All right, thank you. Now, if you understand it, then when there wasn't no reason to bitch at everybody from the get-go. That was the whole thing. So if you understand it, there should have been no problems. Should have been, all right, you know what? You're right. We won't do that again. My bad. So thank you for admitting the very thing at the beginning that was the cause of all this stupid nonsense.
Nadeau, who's Josh Nadeau?
By the way, I'm going to explain again that I didn't crash on him for no reason. He blew me off when I offered to call and talk to him. And he said, I ain't got no time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time for that. Okay, but you got time to sit and tweet for hours on end? Sassing everybody, just sassing. Just do it, just sassing. Ooh, just sass. Ooh, 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 I'm gonna talk to this person. Ooh, I'm gonna tell him off. Just sassing nonstop. Oh, but you can't talk for 5 minutes? Which is what I said. You got 5 minutes and we could talk. He said, talk to the hand, son. He did the whole talk to the hand like he was a black woman sassing me in 2004. Talk to the hand. Excuse me? I thought we was cool or friendly. We was on a friendly tip, son. Apparently not, because he blew me off. Ain't got 5 minutes. I didn't mean call me this second. Could have called me in a week, dude. Could have called me in 4 days. This ain't got time for you. So he said, like that. I said, shit. This man is full of himself. He think he too big. He think he the king of Byzantium. Excuse me? There's only one emperor of Byzantium. And he ain't in San Diego. I'll tell you that right now. Now, what's the real beef? Dude is just being a whiny bitch. That's the whole thing. Now, he agreed to a debate. Good. Good. Now let's hold him to it, because the word is on the streets. Psst, psst. Y'all heard what Ruslan said? He has said he ain't even gonna debate Jay unless Jay calls him personally, apologizes. Now we had a well-known Wigga pretender to the throne back in 2018, 19, and 20, whom you may recall tried this exact same strategy, my friend. I am referring to MC Michael Lofton, if you recall, who also said, I will not debate him until he called me and personally apologize on the phone. Now, wait a minute. You ain't got time for me to call on the phone. That's what you said the other day. I thought you ain't got time for that, son. And now all of a sudden, he better call me. He better apologize. Excuse me? Thought you ain't got time for it. Now how you got time all of a sudden? Now he got time. I ain't gonna talk to him. I ain't gonna debate him till he apologize. But I ain't got no time to talk to nobody. I'm so busy. I got so many conferences. I just got so many conferences while I'm tweeting 24/7. Like I just ain't got time. Who believed this nonsense? Not me. Not me. But again, we had one wicked pretender in 2020, tried all this same mess. Bunch of damn nonsense. Trying all this nonsense. Did it work? No. No. Who care about Lofton now? Nobody. 200 people on the video? I don't know. Maybe. What are you over there doing? Talking about the Pope all day long. That's all he talking about. Pope. Listen, and then we came in and we conquered, son. We conquered in this name, in this sign right here. You talk about Constantine. I'm talking about conquer, team. And conquer in this sign right here. I'm joking, by the way. That's a joke, dummies. That's a joke. Oh, look at here what he said. You see what he has said? All right, let's go to Ruslan's over here, and then we're going to open it up. By the way, I'm going to go to questions within. Don't worry. Should we speed this man up? Let's speed him up a little bit. See how he sound. Shit, maybe could we do chop and screwed? Hey, let's do a Ruslan chop and screwed.
catechumen. Why is he on stage with the biggest Catholic and the biggest Protestant apologist? I get it. I got it last week, by the way. I got it.
Okay, then what's the problem, dude? No problems. So turns out, I guess we're not insufferable, and it was you the whole time. That's what everybody said. So thank you. So there shouldn't be any issues.
Last week. So I understand the optics of it. Again, wasn't meant to disrespect this.
By the way, dude is ashy. Look at his arm. Look at dude's arm. Got a bunch of ash all over it. Some people might say that's a tattoo. I think he ashy. Do need a little lotion. Get this boy some Jergens.
Or anything like that. From our framework, remember, as Protestants, we believe in the priesthood of all believers. We don't have the same clergy to laity hierarchy. And so when I see someone that I've been talking to for years about,
y'all ain't got no hierarchy, but y'all got people that you think is at the top of the food chain, your pastors and your influencer. Are you trying to tell me you really don't think that y'all people got your own hierarchy? You just don't call it a hierarchy, but in practice you do, son.
Their journey towards orthodoxy, I think they're going to be a great representation based on my personal reactions, based on him being there. Now I get it. I chose convenience over finding somebody that was solid and going the extra.
Okay, so if you admit all this, then there should have been no problems, because this is what everybody said at the beginning. So you admitted everybody's criticism when you spent multiple days bitching and whining at everybody else. So thank you for admitting it. There should be no problem. So you shouldn't have crashed out. Who crashed out? You, son.
While I did ask around, but I could have done more. And so with that, I am going to be doing a conversation. Me and Gavin talked about this, either at the Next Best God Summit or somewhere in between. And Gavin Ortland's agreed to do this with an Orthodox representative, a priest, someone like that. And I'd love to hear from you guys. Who do you guys want to see in that discussion? We're working on a potential sponsor to make that happen. It's still early phases, but we are going to do something with Gavin Ortland, myself, and a Orthodox representative. So drop.
Awesome. Now, but keep in mind that in the midst of all this furor, this man also agreed that he would debate me. So let's take a look at that. Just to be clear, because we know he's not going to do it. We know he's going, not unless you apologize. Not unless you apologize. Because you are not a righteous man. I am a righteous man and you are not. So apologize, or else I will not talk to you in a debate forum. We don't need to interact, because I said, when you are ready, put out that public call. We have many mutual friends. You can get in contact with them boys and girls or whatever, whoever. And you can say, I'm ready. Let's set it up. Now, he says he's on tour, okay? Smoking Grooves tour, right? Like 1998. He's on tour, and he ain't going to be able to debate until after October or whenever his tour is done. He said, I will debate you. I'm down to debate. He says it twice. See that? I'm down to debate. I'm down to debate. So, there you have it. He's down to debate. That means you don't get to say, now I changed my mind. You must call and apologize to me before I will debate you. Because nobody's going to buy that, dude. That's ridiculous. You already agreed to a debate. I don't need to interact with you prior to the debate.
Who you want to see in the comments.
Who else did this? Remember, Ridvan did this. AP did this. Agrees to a debate. Good. I don't want to talk to you. I'm not debating him because he blocked me. So, what's that got to do with you doing a debate? Nothing. Nothing at all. So it's just an excuse.
In terms of that conversation. Now, having said that, multiple things could be true at the same time. I could have done better with regards to having better representation for you guys. And I understand that you guys are like, hey, we'd rather just not have anybody if you're going to have a catechumen on. Fair enough. If I could go back in time, wouldn't have had Josh on, though Josh had the blessing of a spiritual father, though Josh agreed to do it, didn't know it was such a big deal. So next time, we just won't have anybody there if we can't have somebody that you guys feel comfortable representing you.
It's not even that big of a deal. It's just that you guys make such a huge fuss over tone and obsessing on tone policing. That's all you do. You'll debate for a year about tone and tone policing without ever debating the actual issues. Okay, that's what people are tired of. And people are figuring it out, that they've been saying, oh, he's mean for 10 years. Well, how come all the atheists and Muslims don't have any problem scheduling a debate with me? Why is it so easy to schedule a debate with a Muslim? But now you got to freaking jump through 5,000 hoops to get a debate with a Roman Catholic or a Protestant. A damn cult leader will debate. right? Captain Crackrock will come and debate. It's easy as hell to get a debate with Captain Crackrock. But any of y'all, and I don't care about your channel and your clout, dude. And I don't appreciate you flexing that in my face and then pretending that it's all about piety. Well, he won't access and he's mad because he won't know much. I was not expecting to be at your whatever forum with this dude and whoever else. We all know Gavin Ortland is never going to debate me. So I had no expectation of being at that. And I don't care about your channel or your flexing your channel in my face. I don't care. Your views are down, dude. So I don't care about your channel no more. If you want to have the debate, do it on another channel, public forum that has nothing to do with your channel. And that way, well, that will show you I don't care about your channel and the clout of your channel. And screw you for flexing your stupid channel and subscribers in my face like you're some kind of badass. Listen, there's only one emperor of Byzantium, son, and it's right here. It's this boy. It ain't you, you pretender.
Now, that could be true. At the same time, the outright nuclear response to this, I think, is also a bit over the top and wild. And let me particularly address the back and forth with Jay Dyer. So there's a lot that Jay doesn't understand and doesn't know regarding what I've actually been trying to do behind the scenes to get him in the room and to get him in these conversations. And the reality is that people just don't want to deal with him. They find him annoying. They find the beat your chest and summon you to a debate approach lame and cringe. And
Isn't that funny? Because all of the top atheists and the top Muslims have never had a problem with that. And for many years, nobody else had a problem with that in the Roman Catholic and Protestant sphere either. Even up until recently, Tim Gordon had no problem with that. Tim didn't have a problem with people beating chest and talking smack because we all played sports, dude. Everybody talks smack in basketball. Who cares? Guys talk smack. It's not a big deal. David Erhan for years was talking smack with all the Orientals and they had debates. Who cares? It's not a big deal. But suddenly it's a huge deal to the school marms and the damn librarian, Karens out here that decided that you can't speak this way. How dare you? And it all began with Lofton and Ibarra. Nobody even used this as some kind of massive excuse until Lofton and Ibarra decided that we can erect a giant tone policing excuse to not have public debates with people that make fat jokes or say the word retard. Now, originally, Lofton went so far as to try to get Father Deacon Ananias defrocked, tried to talk about, to message the whole diocese because he said on Discord the word retard. So this cancel culture policy, which is a leftist thing, was immediately borrowed and adopted by the trad cats and the non-trad cat Roman Catholic sphere. And of course, the Protestants became the masters of piety signaling. Now, there's a bunch of people in the Orthodox world who fall into this piety signaling as well. It's nothing more nauseating and just annoying, and it's just, it gets old. People are tired of tone policing. Read the room. People don't respect people that don't have a spine. Okay. And the whole rest of the world is dealing with war and Jeff Stein McGeffrey, massive PDF, insanity. And you over here worrying about 4-letter words or who said something mean on Twitter. I mean, it's just freaking gay, dude. So no, it's not true that because people talk smack, suddenly that's crashing out or that's a huge just moral infraction. I mean, it's pearl clutching, dude. Come on, everybody knows what pearl clutching is.
Look past that, wanted to build my own relationship with Jay based on my own interactions with Jay. And so when I had Jay on, I had a fairly good time. We went out to dinner. We had a good conversation. We split it up into 2 parts, and Jay was awesome. Now, when this entire thing happened, there's also...
So then doesn't that contradict the idea that it's impossible to actually interact with me or to work with me or to do anything with me? How is that possible if I'm just this insufferable, impossible person? So that right there just immediately doesn't make...
So him texting me about it, and I explained all this to him, and he rightfully so pointed out, hey, the word debate is in the title. I don't title my own videos. If you watch my channel, you should know I don't title my own videos. I immediately changed the title, told my guys, stop saying the word debate in the title. I think there was even a trailer where I may have said debates like this, which was a trailer that I shouldn't have said that in. It wasn't a debate. It was a good...
Okay, but I mean, is it a reasonable question to ask you, as many people did and myself, did you just change it because of pushback? I mean, again, ultimately, it's not even that big of a deal because, correct, the guy did fine. And, Alex Soren, shout out to Alex, did interview Josh. And turns out Josh and I have messaged on DMs, and I remembered him later. And he is a cool dude. So shout out to Josh. I remember that he was a sword pencil guy later on. But again, the reason for all of this, Ruslan, was because I did reach out to you in DMs, and I've shown this to many people, including mutual friends. And I said, hey, you're upset. I said stuff that upset you. Let's have a personal chat. And you blew me off because you tried to flex your channel and your clout and how busy you were with all your conferences in my face. And then you did it again on Twitter that I wanted access, and I'm upset because I don't have access. That arrogant ass flex is what pissed me off. And so that's why I said you're gross and I don't want to deal with you. And I don't care about your channel, dude. I really don't. So you are full of yourself because you think that people are going to bow to you because of your 800,000 subscribers. I don't care. I really don't. And I'm not going to let you flex that shit in my face like I care about that. I know you care all about that. You're all about that merch. You're all about them numbers. I'm not all about that. I do care about that to a degree, but I'm not all about that number. You know what I'm saying? So let's get that straight.
Faith discussion, trying to get to the bottom of the differences. Why? Because I'm curious about orthodoxy, or at least I was curious about orthodoxy. I'm not as curious now. And in my curiosity, I want people to be
So now this is revealing what's really going on here, right? Ruslan was a year ago supposedly curious. He wanted to have Pajot on. He had Father Josiah Trenum on. He had me on. We had these, open, very curious dialogues and conversations. And I would say he and I even had what you could say is a debate in the latter half, which I think he put behind a paywall, but maybe not, because I don't think he did very well in that debate. But now he's saying, "Oh, I'm not curious about Orthodoxy anymore," as if he's making the judgment on the basis of Twitter interactions. So is that the things that sway you ultimately, like interacting with people on Twitter? I mean, this is what girls say about why they don't like theology, or why I'm going to make my decision based on how people act on Twitter. First of all, nobody even knows, other than the big profiles or people that you specifically know, whether all of these anonymous bots or profiles or even who even knows that they're Orthodox? Who knows? We don't know. Maybe they are. But maybe it's a bunch of sock accounts. Maybe it's feds. Maybe it's you over here with a damn fake ass Orthodox account. I'm not saying that, but it could happen, right? So who knows who's behind all these anonymous accounts? Just like I'm not going to make my decision about my religion. I saw a bunch of Protestant accounts and they were saying mean things, so I am not interested in Protestantism. It just sounds so ridiculous, dude. Come on. It should be about whether the theology is true or false, right? That's the ultimate determiner of which one is true and false. You can't make it on the basis of a bunch of accounts on Twitter. That's just preposterous.
Presented well. I want there to...
But that shows, by the way, that he has been moving away from his interest in Orthodoxy. Whether he really was or not, we don't know. That would suggest to me that no, there has been a motivation to start putting out subtle digs at Orthodox people and subtle critiques at Orthodox people, perhaps having Josh against Gavin and against Trent. We don't know Ruslan's motives other than what he says publicly and other than what people around him attest to. So whether he, is in some weaselly way trying to, put this sneaky critique in there, it doesn't matter, because he's basically spilling the beans that he's tired of Orthodox stuff. He's tired of people commenting. He's tired of people arguing with him. And it's because he can't answer any of the theology, because he's a shit debater and he knows it, but he wants to debate so bad and he wants to be a debater that I'm inviting him to come and to debate. And he can't say no because he's already said yes twice. but he knows he's in a tough position because he's not going to win. So what's he got to do? Well, he's got to come up with a bunch of smoke and mirrors and drama and probably excuses. But we're going to hold him to this because he wants to debate. Remember, he's been calling out Fuentes for a year. He's been calling out Quandas for a year. He wants to debate. He wants to debate. Do you just want to debate big channels, or do you want to debate what's true? So now he's having to say, okay, fine, I'll debate you. I agree to it. But expect the excuse that, look at Jay's antics. Nobody can work with him. He's just so difficult. No, the only reason you're saying that is because we are putting pressure on your bad theology. And we're calling you out on the things that we see as a problem, which is your brand is your idol and your made up brand, part of your Protestant fake church. That's the problem. And that's hitting home. And that's what you're mad about. All of this other stuff is because that's hitting home. And you can't answer those critiques. That's the root of all of this. If you were to admit orthodoxy is true, you would have to rebrand. You would have to go through a lot. You'd have to stop publicly teaching your fake made up doctrines. So I understand that's difficult. But that's not my fault. It's not the Orthodox people's fault.
Charitable, good faith conversations. That's my entire approach with this conversation. That's what I wanted to do in that panel, and that's why I have these conversations. Now, having said that, I let Jay know what happened. I didn't tell him my video. I changed the title immediately. Then I saw him say the same thing on X. Now I'm not on X. I'm not really logged into X. I'll check X on my desktop. I don't have the app on my phone. And I saw him pose the same.
You were on X tweeting at everybody for hours on end. What are you talking about? I'm not on X.
Question. And I responded to him, said the same exact thing in the response to him, which. My thought was, you really don't understand why people don't want to deal with you. And it has nothing to do with how you carry yourself in a debate. It has to do with how you carry yourself outside of the debate.
But the problem with that is that Trent already dealt with me. And we had a perfectly civil natural theology debate. Tim Gordon had multiple debates with me. We're still friends to this day. The atheists and the Muslims have no problem debating me. It's only Gavin Ortland, Redeem Zoomer, and you who don't want to debate with me because of the potentiality of losing the debate, and that's the real issue. Who actually believes that it's because no one can work with me, no one can set up a debate with me? Set up debates all the time, absolutely no problems. Debated not so erudite for frickin' 12 hours. 11 or 12 hours with an insane feminist. No problems setting up the debate and doing the debate. I mean, it was miserable. It was torture, but it was no problems doing it. The Gatheists, come on, Piers Morgan, no problem. Giant, millions of people watch a Gatheist debate. No problem setting it up. What is he talking about? It's all made up. It's just those three goobers that have a problem because they know that it's not going to go well. That's the real root of it.
So we went back and forth, and he challenged me and Gavin Ortland and Trent Horn to a three-way debate. Pretty gay, if you ask me. But nevertheless, I said...
nobody thought about it as gay until you said it was gay, because obviously I don't mean a three-way and some gay thing with your gay-ass Gen Z broccoli haircut. No. You know I mean a three-way debate, so really weird, creepy, gay statement.
Okay, you want to do a three? I can't speak for Trent Horn and Gavin Ortland. They're not. I'm not their keeper. I'm not their manager. I'm not any of those things.
I didn't think you were. That's an irrelevant statement to this whole issue. Offering the debate to all three of you doesn't mean that I think you're the manager to these people. This is ridiculous.
So you want to do a three-way? That's super gay. But
no, you're making the dumb gay comments, dude. I mean, that'd be like saying that a two-way isn't gay when you and your butt buddies are there doing your show, but it's only gay if it's a three-way. What are you talking about, dude?
I would love to debate you. And this is what I said to him over text. I said, I'd love to debate you. I said, I'm also in a busy season right now, which oddly enough is actually inspired by the dinner me and Jay had where he talked about having events, live events. And I'm in the middle of doing a bunch of live events. I'll be in New York this Sunday. I'll be in DC.
So note again in the video, he says, I will debate you. So this is the third affirmation that he will do a public debate.
This Saturday, we're going to Tampa. It's the Godly Ambition Tour. I'm speaking, I'm performing, I'm doing a live Q&A. Partially inspired by Jay. So I'm like, hey, Jay, I just put out a book. I'm in the middle of this tour that I go out every other weekend. let me figure it out. But I would love to debate you. I think it'd actually be really fun. So despite popular opinion, it was the actual opposite of whatever you guys think it is. Like, oh, someone's running for Jay. I'm really not running for Jay. I've sat down with Jay. I think he's super duper.
By the way, that makes it sound like it was very easy to set up a debate with me. So is it really easy to set up a debate, or is it extremely hard? Am I really easy and fun to talk to, or I'm just impossible, right? So like this video back and forth, it just makes no sense. Like which one is it, dude?
And I think I've learned a lot from him. So no one's. I'm not afraid for Jay Dyer. Let me just speak for myself. I am not afraid of Jay Dyer. I would love to debate Jay Dyer. Now in that.
All right, awesome. So that's the fourth affirmation. So 4 times. I'm gonna do it. Okay, awesome. Let's do it.
Conversation. What Jay doesn't know is then I reached out to a moderator. I'm not gonna say who he is, but the very first thing that came out of this moderator's mouth is, I'm surprised you're willing to sit with this guy. Most people find him very annoying. I said, oh
yeah, the unnamed moderator who is concerned with tone policing. Irrelevant, right? Because modern day debate has been hosting plenty of debates recently. Andrew Wilson at Crucible will host debates. He hosted me and a Gnostic Informant. Gnostic Informant had no problem setting up a debate. Now, he doesn't like me. We had some beef, but there was no problem setting up a debate. So Neoplatonic dudes who don't believe anything like what we believe, they don't have a problem setting up a debate. I've done, I don't know how many Crucible debates, 5, 4, who knows, but no problems with those moderators. Who else is moderated? There's not a whole lot of moderators. He probably means Matt Frad, right? So he probably reached out to some buddy of his in the Roman Catholic world that doesn't like me. I can't even think of Protestant moderators. Is there one? I don't even know if there is one. So I don't know who he's talking about, but who cares what the moderator thinks anyway?
Okay. Now, in the same way that Jay has a spiritual father that he hopefully confesses his sins to, I also have spiritual counsel. I have pastors. And so I started checking in with people, and the overwhelming response was like, man, don't do this. Like,
okay. Yeah. So yeah, don't do the debate because this guy is just so evil. He's just so evil. Man. Now look, a lot of what we do is comedic, and people should recognize that. Been writing for Sam Hyde for the last year, for a whole first season of the Sam Hyde Show, right? We wrote for that. At our live events, we do a significant amount of comedic material. Oh, Cameron Bertuzzi, that's obviously who it is. Yeah. So there's like this whole sphere of butt buddies that are just the worst, right? And by the way, JP Uncut and whoever this Mahler weirdo dude are claiming that I won't debate them. What are they talking about? Any of these people could call. You call in right now, dude. What are you talking about? You can call in at any time. I don't owe you guys, a tiny channel, a giant formal debate. Nor do I think Ruslan or these people owe me a debate. Whoever said you owe me a debate, that's a mischaracterization. The argument is that you ought to do a debate because we are seeing a lot of people run from Protestantism and a lot of people run from Novus Ordo Catholicism. And what is he talking about confessing sins as if, oh, Jay's got a lot of sins he's got to confess this week. Remember when Lofton did this? This is exactly the same passive-aggressive weirdo move that Lofton did in 2018 to 2020 when I said, let's do a debate. I talked smack to them, him and his other buddy when they were buddies, before he ditched and threw Ibarra under the bus, although technically you could never throw Ibarra under anything. Ibarra is the bus, so he couldn't be thrown under the bus. But regardless, this was Lofton's move, right? No one can set up a debate with this man. He is so evil. He is just so beyond the pale. And by the way, I hope you go to confession this week. Are you confessing your sins? Like, who does this? This is just so, this is what's fake and gay, Ruslan. And maybe your evangelical, gay piety audience loves this kind of stuff and you feed off of it because for you guys, piety is a public performance. I don't believe that. In fact, I absolutely hate and despise public piety performance. I think it is nauseating. It's disgusting. And it's exactly what Jesus says about the Pharisees. He says the Pharisees are not, it's not because they're rigorists or they're debating doctrines. That's not what makes you a Pharisee. It's for a pretense. They pray and they do these things to be seen by men doing it.
We actually think if you pick the right prompt, you have a great opportunity to debate him, but don't do this because your time is spent on these other areas of developing the tour.
Yeah, your time is spent on branding and selling the merch, dog. Don't debate a dude who's going to demolish your whole platform. So, of course, his pastors, aka his business coaches, because he goes to business church, right? And if you don't know what that is, go watch my old videos on business church. Yeah, of course, the pastors, aka the shareholders of business church, don't want him debating anybody who's going to demolish him in a debate.
Of putting out music. I finished a whole album. I haven't been talking about that. I got live events, the Next Best God Summit. I'm already spread super thin on top of.
So his pastor's main concern for him was putting out his music? Okay, right. Okay, I guess. I mean, I find that that could sound amusing to me, right? Ruslan's pastor's main concern for, bro, hey, listen, boy, you got a lot of you got a lot of tracks to drop. You got an LP to drop, son. You got a few chopped and screw remixes to drop right now. Don't get distracted from your goal, boy. Who believes that that's what his pastor had told him? Probably, right? Because the pastor probably the business leader too. He the accountant. Dude got a pastor accountant of his ministries.
Of the fact that my wife just had a baby a few months ago. So we have a newborn, a 5-year-old, and an 11-year-old. My life is busy. And so this chest thumping, I'm going to summon you to a debate or you're gay, it doesn't.
No, it's an offer. It's an offer. Nobody's summoning anybody, right? The only person summoning people was you trying to flex your channel, and Jay wants access. He wishes he had access to my 800K. He wishes he had I already had access. What are you talking about? I had access to your 800K, whatever it is. I don't care about access. Like you a damn crypto bro.
Doesn't appeal to me. So he did this a couple months ago where he was like, I summoned Trent Horn and Ruslan and whoever else to a debate about the Epstein files and Israel being involved. It's like, bro, I don't care.
I'm glad you don't care about like massive theological errors in the United States. I mean, evangelical Zionism has a grip on the country. It is a huge, massive heresy. I'm glad you don't care, right? Would that hurt the brand too, dog? Would that hurt Bless God Industries?
I really don't care. Don't care. And so this like,
I'm glad that you don't care about the biggest issues facing the country that include moral and religious concerns, because it would hurt you, right? That would hurt the brand. I'm glad you don't. Thanks for telling us that you don't care about the biggest issues out there in the country. You care about that merch and dropping them hot singles, son.
His love language is like summoning people to a debate, and he thinks that that's like cool. And I appreciate the heart to debate. But
my love language? What kind of gay shit is this? My love language? Is that what he said? Let's play. Hold on, roll that back. Love language.
Israel being involved. It's like, bro, I don't care.
Glad you don't care. Everybody note that he doesn't care about evangelical Zionism.
I really don't care. Don't care.
Oh, good. Thank you for again spilling the beans. We're only like 7 minutes in, and he says it's about my singles and my merch and my speaking engagements. I don't care about evangelical Zionism or a guy defeating my whole theological position. Exactly. Thank you. That's what I've been saying the whole time.
And so this like, I know that's his love language is summoning people to a debate.
That's his love language. What the hell kind of gay dude? What are you talking about? Dudes don't talk about love language. Alex, I see you in the chat. What's your love language with me, brother? Brother, I want to hear your love language. Love language. I mean, is this like late night relationship therapy? Love language?
And he thinks that that's like cool. And
he thinks that that's like cool or whatever. Like, dude thinks that like if you like summon people to a debate, he thinks that's cool or whatever.
Appreciate the heart to debate. But when someone sits online all day and
appreciate the Haktua debate? Is he over talking about Haktua? What's Haktua's love language? Dude, what's this is getting gay, dude. What's he talking about?
And so this like, I know that's his love language is summoning people to a debate, and he thinks that that's like cool. And I appreciate the heart to debate. But when someone sits online all day.
Hard to, what is he saying? I don't understand your love language, Ruslan. I don't know. What are you saying? The hard to debate? Haktua debate? I'll debate Haktua. Step up. Haley, whatever the hell your name is. Where you at, Haktua? I'll debate your ass.
and that's their primary focus, is to stream and to let evangelical normies call into your show and debate you. Yes, he's going to be.
No. The whole ethos of what we do is not evangelical normies. Please call in. Let me debate you. We do all kinds of stuff. We do geopolitical lectures. We do public formal debates. We do comedic stuff. We do countless lectures through massive geopolitical texts that you see behind me. That's my love language, son. And every now and then, evangelical goobers do call in. So do atheists. So do Roman Catholics. Now, is that all I do? Do I only debate with nobodies and normies? No, I'm the only person who still allows all of those people to call in. Nobody else does that. Nobody else does that. That's an advantage, son. That's a feature, not a bug, son. That's allowing anybody to come and make their arguments, make their case. And you say, oh, that's mean. It's not mean, because you're also learning to debate. If you don't want to follow the rules of debate, you don't have to call in. Nobody has to call in. But whoever wants to can call in. And that includes also intelligent people. It's not just goobers calling in. We get intelligent atheists that call in, people with philosophy degrees. We've had professors call in. We've had scholars call in. We've had all kinds of people call in. Now, is that all I do? Debate nobodies and normies? Everybody knows that's not true. People just lie like crazy, like as if all I do is yell at people that call in. This is he just screams and mutes people to call in. I don't mute people. I boot you if you say dumb stuff incessantly. But that's not what we do. We do a lot of things. So acting like all I do is debate normies is total nonsense.
He had an advantage. He has more debates under his belt. I want to honor him in the process.
But wait a minute. I thought I only debate a bunch of normies and goobers that call in. No, we know everybody. I'm going to list all the public formal debates that include people that are scholars. I've debated the Thomist, the Jewish Thomist guy, debated Dr. Malpass, debated Dr. Shabir Ali, debated a Sheikh Azrar Rashid, debated Trent Horn in an academic debate, debated Matt Dillahunty, top atheist, okay, debated, who else? There's more public formal debates. Jake, the Muslim metaphysician, debated Daniel Hakikachu twice, on and on and on, okay, so we don't just do dumb debates. We do serious debates. We do blood sport debates too. Now the fact that we did Tim Gordon formal debate, he's not a goober. So this idea that we only, I wouldn't count that one. I debated Nick Fuentes 10 years ago, but that was informal debate. I almost debated Cosmic Skeptic, but he backed out. It was going to be on Piers Morgan. It would have been huge. But by the way, I've been emailing the Piers Morgan people say, hey, you just had Doug Wilson on. I'll come debate Doug Wilson on there.
Of properly organizing a good debate where there's a moderator and there's structure, and I actually have time to prep. Some of you guys don't know this. We have other stuff going on. It's not like I could.
Nobody was saying you got to do a debate right now. So this is another mischaracterization, sort of a straw man. Nobody demanded that you do a debate right now. Nobody demanded a debate within a month. There was no time frame. There was just, hey, here's an offer. It could be down the road. I don't care.
Just drop everything I'm doing and jump into,
Nobody demanded that you drop everything. This is made up.
Probably dozens of hours of prep to actually engage with him at a level that is comparable. So like I'm figuring this out in real time. I'm talking to a debate organizer. He's like, man, I'm surprised you want to do this. I'm seeking wise counsel from multiple people. Everyone's telling me don't do this.
Here we go. So all of his wise counselors, his accountant and his handler said, don't do it. It's going to hurt the brand, bro. You got CDs to drop, dog. You got a EP to drop, son.
This dude is a crash out. Even if you win, it's still going to be clipped up by all the clippers, and Ruslan gets annihilated.
Okay, here we go. So there's no point in doing it because everybody will just say that the other side won. Now, If that was the case, then why are so many people leaving Roman Catholicism and Protestantism, and also atheism and Islam too? Right now we get this whole debates don't really do anything. There's no point in it. Now wait a minute. If there's no point in it, then why did you just have three people dialoguing together on these topics, Ruslan? I thought it's going to get clipped up and everybody's going to say their side won. What's the point? Oh, but now you're saying you do like debates. Why did you want to debate Nick Fuentes and Queen Quandis the whole last year incessantly? Oh, the Clippers are mean. The Clippers are mean. It's mean to clip, dude. It starts clipping and saying I lost the debate. Yeah, well, welcome to the internet, dude. I mean, that's just part of the internet. But if debates don't do anything, why did you want to debate Candace and Nick so bad?
And then they have a trophy, right? Now it's like I'm the trophy in this entire situation. And I don't think
would you have had a trophy if you felt that you did good against Candace or Nick?
I'm that important. But the fact that there's this constant need for Jay to be invited to things that he's not invited to is super annoying. And I also find it annoying that whenever he wants...
Again, he's making a bunch of nonsense that I'm mad because I wasn't invited to some event of his. When I went to LA for our month of podcasts, I said, hey, did you want to meet up and do anything? He said no. He's assuming that I'm mad because I wasn't invited to his gay event. I don't care about your event. I'd be happy to go to it. I would go on your podcast. But there's no evidence or proof that I'm mad because I wasn't invited to some event. He's just making this up. This is another lie from him.
To debate someone, it's always someone with a way bigger platform than him. The true...
Not true. That's why I do the open forums. So you just contradicted yourself again because you said that I open it up to debate all the evangelical goofballs. Well, why would I do that if I only want to debate people with a bigger channel than me? I just debated Captain Crackrock. His channel is way smaller than me. I debated Not So Erudite. Her channel is way smaller. I'm debating a Protestant pastor in a couple weeks with no significant following. So again, none of this makes any sense. He's just saying shit.
Orthodox folks have been begging to debate this dude. He doesn't want to debate him. I've put multiple people in conversations that want to debate this guy. He doesn't want to debate anybody that doesn't have a bigger platform than him.
Who are you even talking about? What is he talking about saying that he's got Orthodox people that want to debate me and I don't want to debate them? This is pure bullshit. This never happened right here. Let me see this again.
To debate this dude. He doesn't want to debate him. I've put multiple people in conversations. It's super annoying. And I also find it annoying that whenever he wants to debate someone, it's always someone with a way bigger platform than him.
Oh, you mean like you trying to debate Candace for a year, you freaking hypocrite, and trying to debate Nick for a year, you freaking hypocrite? You phony, dude. You're such a phony.
The true Orthodox folks have been begging to debate this dude.
Oh, yes, because I won't debate some schismatic with 2,000 followers. That's who he's talking about. Give me a break, dude. Get out of here.
He doesn't want to debate him. I've put multiple people in conversations that want to debate this guy. He doesn't want to debate anybody that doesn't have a bigger platform than him.
No, there's no reason to debate a schismatic group with like 20 followers in the country with a few hundred people on their channel. No, I'm not doing that. But wait a minute. Does that mean you're summoning me? Because I did the same thing and you say, he's summoning. And how dare he summon me? But when you do it, it's not summoning. It's putting people out there in a kind gesture. No, we know what you're doing. You want the people that would drive a wedge amongst the Orthodox to be given a greater platform as a snake subversive strategy, which I think you're all about snaky subversive strategies. And that's what I'm thinking more and more.
That to me sounds like clout goblin activities.
You spending a whole damn year trying to debate Candace and Nick Fuentes. So by your own standards, you're a summoning snake goblin.
Sounds very fake and gay, and it sounds like he just wants attention and to suck the energy out of the room. So, but I'm...
There we go. So I just want attention. See, this is why he's trying to flex his channel again. Here he is with trying to flex his channel. Guess what, Ruslan? I don't want to do the debate on your channel. How about we do it on a tiny channel? That way, neither of us is gaining traction. Or how about Modern Day Debate, which has, I don't know, 200K? And why would I be trying to debate Gavin Ortland when Gavin Ortland doesn't have a big audience as I do? Gavin Ortland doesn't have a big a channel as I do. So none of this shit makes any sense.
Still willing to play ball at this point. I'm still willing to play ball at this point. Now, I'm talking.
Whoa. I guess we gotta bow down. Uh-oh. He's still allowing access to his inner war room elite university. He still might deign to give access to his blessed channel. Dude, I don't care about your channel.
To people, I'm speaking to some of my Oriental, not my Oriental, or my Eastern Orthodox friends. I'm trying to find a prompt because I want the stakes to be high. And my question is quite simply this: if the Eastern Orthodox Church claims to be the one and true church, unchanging and in the same way that the apostles process, if one of their dogmas is proven false, does that then mitigate the claim that they are the one true church? They claim to be the one true church. Protestants don't make those sorts of claims. They claim to be unchanging. Protestants don't make those sorts of claims. And yet they have dogmas that, in my opinion, contradict the plain reading of Scripture. And I would argue the first 100 years of church history. So
the plain reading. Imagine who's still appealing to the plain reading of Scripture, the perspicuity of Scripture. I mean, this is so low tier that anybody with a basic philosophical education or a basic idea of textual studies and hermeneutics and how you go about semiotics is going to be able to tear this to shreds. So I hope he does want to debate the perspicuity of Scripture.
Trying to find a prompt, talking to my Eastern Orthodox friends, and I can't even get that granted. That, hey, let's raise the stakes a bit. If we're going to have this conversation, you see, I think people forget that.
So because we won't just immediately admit your prompt, you can't find a person that will debate. I mean, we're not going to let you have some gay, ambiguous prompt. Remember when... what was his name? Need God. Remember, he tried this. He said, I'm not going to commit to any Reformation teaching. We're just going to debate, is salvation by faith or works? Okay, well, that's a bogus scam, false dialectic choice. It's a false either or from the beginning premise, right? It's intended to give the impression that he's going to argue for grace and faith, and I will be taking the works-based salvation position, when it's an oversimplification and a false dialectic about our position from the outset. So in the same way, he's arguing like, well, what if I can just find one thing and that will destroy your whole system because I can find something that contradicts the perspicuity of Scripture. Now, I don't know what he thinks or what is in his mind, but it's an ambiguous prompt, right? We don't know what you're thinking or what you mean by the thing that's perspicuous in Scripture. That is the thing that's going to, take down the whole system. So the fact that we find ambiguity in that does not mean that we're being unreasonable about the prompt of the debate.
With Eastern Orthodoxy, it's not a pick and choose. And even the people that I see melting down, it's a lot of...
Nobody's melting down but you, dude.
Ex-Calvinists, a lot of evangelicals, a lot of catechumens that are crashing out in the comment section.
No, you're crashing out, dude. You're the one that keeps making videos about this because your boring ass videos about whatever news clickbait nonsense aren't getting any views.
And people are asking them to debate. JP Uncut has been asking you guys to debate. No one wants to call in and have...
No one wants to call in? JP Uncut has called in. I've already debated that dude. What are you talking about? He could still call in unless I blocked him because he said a bunch of nonsense. So what are you talking about? No, nobody wants to call in. I do call-ins every day. I thought you said a minute ago that's all I do. So is that all I do, or do I not accept people calling in? Well, which one is it?
Has been asking you guys to debate. No one wants to call in and have the conversations on one of your dogmas, the intercessions of the saints. And so I want to...
Already had that conversation, Goober. What are you talking about? Literally let that dude call in. And we had a perfectly civil interchange months ago. Actually, it was about like a year ago. Nobody will have this discussion. Nobody will do it. Dyer won't do this discussion. It's right here. What are you talking about? I'm not going to do the whole discussion over again with him. Why? I mean, these dudes can call in anytime. What are you talking about? You already said a minute ago, all I do is online debates with everybody calling in. But he won't let anybody call in and won't do this debate. Which one is it?
Up to Andy, let's have it. And I can't even get a clear answer on this. The only person that's given me a clear answer on this is Moret, who is my Oriental Orthodox guest. We're going to put out part 2 of that conversation.
A clear answer on what? Intercession of the saints? What are you talking about? Well, your dumbass low tier question, what's the one doctrine that will refute orthodoxy? It's a stupid question, Ruslan. What are you talking about? The fact that you can't get a clear answer to your dumbass ambiguous question doesn't refute orthodoxy. It just shows that you're low tier, dude.
And he granted, yes, if one of our dogmas contradicts scripture in the first 100 years of church history, we cease being the one and true church. I need that.
Yeah, but it's a stupid line of argumentation because we're not going to grant your clear reading of scripture. So all texts require interpretation. And what you think is a clear text of scripture is going to be absolutely opposite of pretty much all the other Protestants as well. If Protestantism had a clear idea of what was perspicuous in scripture, there wouldn't be thousands of divided Protestant sects. They would at least have some commonality and cooperation on the basics, but they can't even tell us what sola fide actually means. Does it mean that I have to believe in the doctrine of justification by faith alone? Or do I just have to believe in the incarnation and I'm justified by faith? They don't know. So this is so low tier that we're just laughing at you, Ruslan. We're laughing at the slow boy level of your questioning and the ambiguity, as Jesse Lee Peterson said. What that is? Ambiguity. Your prompt is full of ambiguity.
Granted, and I couldn't get that granted. So as I'm figuring out a prompt and just even trying to figure out, like, am I thinking?
Well, the fact that you haven't got that granted doesn't mean that's a frustration on your level, son, where you're at. The fact that Orthodox theology might be complicated in some area, that has nothing to do with whether it's true or false. You're just basically telling us that you're frustrated. Okay, well, sorry. That's not our problem that you're frustrated that you can't get a simple response.
In the right way, because this is what my Oriental Orthodox friends saying, is the Orthodox thinking the same way, or is the bar to entry and the need to falsify anything becomes impossible? Then what are we even debating about? What's the point of even debating, right? Especially when I got other things going on.
Who argues that orthodoxy is true because you can't disprove it and it's all unfalsifiable, right? Nobody even makes this argument. So again, another straw man. Like it's as if he's saying that we just say you can't falsify our doctrines, so therefore orthodoxy is true. Debate one, bro. I mean, I think maybe he thinks that's what tag is. Like it's just an argument where you just say it's true, and then you say it's unfalsifiable, and then you say therefore ortho bros won. Like he doesn't even grasp what the argumentation is.
I'm trying to figure that out. I'm also I just preached at my church this past weekend. I preached all three.
Oh, he preached at his church. Damn, son. Show some respect put some respect on that name. Put a little respect on that name. You realize you talking to a man who just preached at a made-up business church? How dare you speak in such way? You realize that he might deign to give you access to his 800K. He might give you access. He might. Or he might not if he get mad. Because he just preach. Dude, nobody cares that you preach at your made-up business church. Anybody can start a business strip mall church and say, I preached at my church last week. You start a church in your house, son. I started a church in my bathroom. I preached last week at my church in my bathroom. I preached from the tub. I was preaching into my audience of one rubber ducky. One rubber ducky was repenting as I preached in the bathtub in my bathroom church, son.
Services on Sunday, and I preached on Thursday. And so I'm trying to figure this.
Whoa. Slow down here. We got a twice a week preacher here. Okay, this ain't no weekend warrior, son. This a man who go to potluck and preach after the potluck, son. Guess what? Broccoli head. I preached every week in my bathroom church. Every week. Every night. I take a bath every night, son, and I preach in that bathtub every night for 4 hours straight. I preach on my live stream right now. Can I get a hey, man? Hey, man.
I'm talking to someone, and someone, again, this person will remain nameless, but we're like, hey, let me put together some.
I like that he thinks that it's a flex, right? This goober is all about flexing stupid shit that nobody cares about, dude. We don't care that you flexing about your 800K channel and access. He wish he had access to my channel. Dude, I don't care if we ever talk again. I mean, In the long run, I would like to see you Orthodox, sure. But you a goofball, dude. You a goober. And so, no, I don't care if we interact. And we ain't got to interact for other people to set up the debate, son. Can I get a hey, man? And why is he trying to flex about preaching at his made-up business church? Don't nobody care about you preaching at business church. I went to the Holy Tabernacle strip mall next to the Asian massage parlor at the over there by the Dairy Queen, right? We got a church by the Dairy Queen, by the Asian massage parlor. And I went in there and I preached 3 times this week, son. What you gonna say now, Ruslan? I preached at the Asian massage parlor too. I went over there to the Asian massage parlor, and them Japanese women was rubbing. I said, "Hey man, let me get a little bit of hey man." And them girls said, "Oh, hey man, hey man." Them massage girls, it wasn't dirty. Them massage girls was massaging my bunions. I said, "Can I get a hey man?" She said, "Hey man."
Numbers. Let me figure out what it would take to make a debate with you guys happen. And I'm waiting for them. And then once I was going to hear back from them, then I was going to hit Jay up. And then to my surprise, I hop on X and there's Jay crashing out again. Now, Jay will say, you don't say that I'm a mean guy.
That's me, right? That's how I'll be like this. Let's see the Ruslan impression of me again, because that's exactly how I sound.
Debate with you guys happen. And I'm waiting for them. And then once I was going to hear back from them, then I was going to hit Jay up. And then to my surprise, I hop on X and there's Jay crashing out again. Now, Jay will say,
that's me right there. Damn, this man an impressionist now. This man an impressionist now. Just like me.
You don't say that I'm a mean guy and that's why you don't want to debate me. No, it's not. That's not it. I'm not mad at you because you're mean. I understand.
I thought that was it. I mean, you've been talking for 11 minutes saying that nobody can deal with me. Can't nobody deal with you, son. You are insufferable. Hillary talked about the deplorables. You are the insufferable. So I thought it was that, but now it's not. And this man can't go 1 minute without contradicting. Jay's spurging out. I'm having fun, dude.
And you can handle decorum, but the way in which you handle yourself online is insufferable. And
I told you it was coming. The insufferables. The insufferables. It's only insufferable when it gets around to you, right? So look, this dude wants to subtly jab at orthodoxy. He admitted a minute ago he's not interested in orthodoxy like he used to be. He doesn't care about it now. He doesn't care about the big issues morally and theologically facing the country. So what is it really about? He doesn't want pushback. He wants to subtly attack and go at orthodox stuff because we're insufferable. So he has a vendetta and he doesn't want pushback. He wants to do all of that and not get pushback. And if you get pushback, well, by golly, it's because you're insufferable.
Cult that you have built around you is...
Oh, I built a cult. Okay. I built a cult. You go to a completely made up business church in a damn strip mall or a damn business corporation. Literally when you drive into like corporate areas of the city, you know, right? I don't know where his church is. I guarantee you it's a damn non-denominational friggin' business company over there where they make businesses in the business corp section of the city. That's where his church, dude's at a damn strip mall, business corporation church, trying to say that I built a cult. You preach at a made up church, your own fake and gay church. What are you talking about?
Insufferable. The orthobros are insufferable. And get multiple things to be true at the same time.
There it goes. So the people calling them out are the ones insufferable. Right? It's not the Roman Catholics with their false gospel. It's not the evangelicals or the Mormons that teach things that he thinks are heterodox. It's not the Muslims with their antichrist doctrine. It's not rabbinic Jews with their antichrist doctrine. It's the ortho bros because they give you pushback, right? The rest of these people don't care about your goofy made up business church. Don't know Muslims care about Ruslan's made up business church. But when the ortho bros come and attack, and by the way, again, it's not the Roman Catholics either, because he's got Trent Horn there, right? So anybody that's not a threat is fine. But if you are a threat to Bless God Industries, you're insufferable.
I could be wrong about having a catechumen at the event. My bad. We will fix it. We will make it right.
Okay, why didn't you just say that from the get-go? Dude, you started all this, dummy, with your broccoli head.
For you guys. At the same time, the way the Orthobro community went nuclear, and specifically their Pope Jay Dyer crashed out on me, as I'm trying to work these things out behind the scenes, as I'm trying to get a moderator, as I'm trying to figure out a prompt, as I'm actually having to preach this past weekend.
How are you trying to find a moderator and a prompt when nobody had challenged you to a debate yet? What are you talking about? You mixing up the timeline here. I challenged you to the debate after all of this nonsense, dude. What are you talking about, mixing up the timeline?
At all 4 services, which requires a degree of prep, and then for him to crash out to me shows to me that he's a big...
We don't care about you preaching at your made-up church. Nobody's impressed by that.
Man-child. He's an immature man-child that has no ability to understand that, hey, guys who have like families and responsibilities.
No, Ruslan, I sent you a message that said, let's have a private conversation and let's talk about the issues. And you blew me off and flexed your channel in my face and said that you're too busy to interact with me. That's what you said. You said, I don't have time for that. I'm busy. A 5-minute conversation you didn't have time for, that was what pissed me off. You blew me off. And you can do that. But for you to then morally one up and piety signal like this is all impiety, no, you were shitty to me, dude. You're immature. You're immature because you admitted that all the stuff that they were initially criticizing about the optics, you were wrong about. Great. Then none of this should have ever been an issue. You created the mess that you're in, and then you tried to flex in people's faces your channel and your clout when we don't care about that. So that's why I'm saying I don't care about that. And you're calling that a crash out because you thought that was some kind of, credit and some sort of thing that you could use to barter with me. Well, now that I don't care about your channel and your clout, you can't barter with me with that. I don't care.
Abilities and staffs and payroll and all sorts of things they're responsible for don't like being spoken to in like this is an MMA fight and you're going.
Well, then you shouldn't be flexing in my face, your dumb channel, and flexing on me that I want access and I'm mad because I didn't get access and you ain't got time for me because you got all of this merch to push and all of these conferences. I got time for this. I got time for you. Well, then why are you trying to get me to call you to apologize? I thought you don't have time for that.
To bait me into MMA fight. And my question to you guys, the Orthobros community, is at what point does Jay cross a line for you guys? At what point does it go too far? Is he really allowed to say whatever he wants to me? He's able to say, F your channel, you're a pussy. He's able to say all this stuff to me.
Yeah, because you try to flex it, dude. If you didn't try to flex it, it wouldn't be an issue. Why are you trying to flex? You try to flex your channel in my face on Twitter, dude. You said he wants access.
And I just have to take it on the chin, pause. And if I...
No, you don't. All you had to do was to talk to me in a 5-minute phone conversation, and you explicitly said you would not do that. You said, I don't have time for that. But you want me to call and apologize. Ruslan, it doesn't make sense, man.
Don't debate him, I'm gay and I'm fake, while acting very gay and fake. If I'm a grifter and I'm all these things, why did you come and sit with me?
Did I say you were a grifter a year ago? I had a dispute with you about a discussion. You agreed to have us on. You had other Orthodox people on. So motives are revealed over time. When you flex your channel in my face and say you don't have time to talk to me on the phone, then yeah, I think, okay, well then what matters to you is the channel and the brand. You said in the first 7 minutes of your goofy video here that you have a priority and your spiritual guides are telling you to get focused on putting your music out. Well, that tells me what your priority is.
Why do you want to come to my event? Why are you mad that you didn't get invited into?
I don't care about your event. He's just making this up. Where do you get that I'm thinking that I'm supposed to be at your event? I don't care about your event or your channel. If you had invited me to the event, sure, I would have gone. I don't care that I'm not invited to your event. I understand that Trent Horn and Gavin Ortland are not going to interact with me at some event that you're having. Yeah, I don't care about that. That has nothing. He's just made this up as if I care about that. That's why I'm saying, to prove that I don't care about that, we can have these debates on any channel but yours. In fact, I don't want to be on your channel. How's that? I don't want to grace your channel, and you don't have to grace me with your channel. And so the fact that you try to flex that shit like I care about that is silly. I don't care, dude. Would I be beefing with you and risking losing access if I only cared about the optics and the numbers? I don't care. And people recognize people that don't care about that stupid shit. That's why people are listening to what we're saying, because I don't care. And people are tired of this kind of bullshit, dude. It's fake.
The room. So having said all that, I would need Jay Dyer to publicly repent and apologize for the way he crashed out on me.
Here we go. So I'm not going to debate until you apologize. I don't have anything to apologize for. When are you going to apologize for blowing me off when I offered to have a private conversation to reconcile with you? Since you were upset. That was the first thing I did, was go to you. We had our initial disagreement on Twitter. We had a bunch of DMs back and forth. I said, set a time. Let's have in fact, because nobody's going to believe this, I'll show you what I said. Let's look at the Ruslan text. Here's the text. You can read it yourself. At the bottom, how about this? You can set a time and we can have a chat about it, about the issue of the disagreement. What's his response? I'm not sure you keep up with me, but I have a 5-month-old. I'm doing, I'm in the middle of a theater tour. I'm pretty inspired, partly inspired by our conversation. All right. So not have the time for you. And then he says a bunch of stuff about, I have the YouTube grind. It would be an honor to debate you someday. I mean that. I'm trying to engage with you as gently as possible. Your actions have ripple effects, blah, blah, blah. And then he says, and then I said to him, I asked you to chat one-on-one and you blew me off. You are a grifter. That's what I said. So would have been very easy to set up a 5-minute conversation, which, as you can see, he says, why don't you call me and apologize? Well, you don't have time. I thought you were so busy that no one can call you and talk to you for 5 minutes because you're just too damn busy. You got too much going on, son. So he blew me off, as you can see. That's what pissed me off. And then on Twitter, he keeps trying to flex the channel that I didn't get access. Like he's a crypto bro with Trader University or some nonsense. Dude, I don't care. Like, go. That's why I said, dude, screw off. I don't care.
While I was trying to figure out an actual debate. And I need him to do it with the same chest bumping that he did. I need him to do it with the same energy in his apology. Because this is happening.
What do I have to apologize for? I tried to reach out to you and you blew me off. You need to apologize because you're lying.
Before with Jay, and it's honestly old and it's annoying. Now, having said that,
I'm sorry that you find people pushing back against you insufferable. Nobody did anything to create this mess but you.
I'd love to have a debate on one of your guys' dogmas. Let's figure out a time and let's find a reasonable point. Despite popular opinion, you guys don't know, I've actually never even had a formal debate. So I don't even know what Jay is trying to prove.
Yeah, this is a great point here in the super chats. D says for Maximus says for $5. Ruslan didn't have time for a 5-minute conversation, but he has time to record a 26-minute recorded and edited video. And he has time to sit there and tweet for hours about this stuff. So he's full of shit. Ruslan, you're full of shit, dude.
In debating me. That like Ruslan, the guy that has informal conversations and wants to represent people accurately, is gonna lose in a debate, which like Jay, like I don't understand. I really don't understand. But I was willing to have it, and now I'm not because I think.
Oh, here we go. Now he's not. So he's doing the moral blackmail that Lofton did because he's a freaking pussy, as I said he was, Pusslon. And I told you he wouldn't do it. And I said, hold him accountable. And his excuse is, I'm going to have moral blackmail against you until you apologize to me. For what? For crashing out. For crashing out how? You blew me off. I mean, you blow people off and expect them to just bow to you because of your 800K channel? Dude, screw you. That's douchebag behavior. You are being a douchebag. So apologize for being a douchebag. And guess what? You don't have to apologize for being a douchebag. I don't really care. I'm still going to debate you. I would always debate you, whether you're a douchebag or not. That's why people are not concerned with this effeminate Karen stuff, and they listen to people who just go into the issues, right? Now, you got maybe a bunch of evangelical goobers in your audience that are all about piety signaling, and you can always keep those. You can always have your little grift, your little kingdom, your little cult. You're the one that has the cult, Ruslan. And it won't matter because it's going to dwindle away, because everything that does not have the foundation stones of the apostles, the one holy Catholic Apostolic Church, is going to die. So you can have your little stupid ministry channel. I don't care. I will move on. And I knew you weren't going to debate. I knew you would come up with an excuse. And that's why I put up the post saying, hold Ruslan's feet to the fire, because he agreed 5 times to do a debate. And now he says, nah, not unless you apologize. So gay moral blackmail, exactly the gay actions of Lofton 6 years ago.
The entire thing is evidence of someone that is behaving very spectrumy. Like the dude has no emotional intelligence in terms of anything that's going on. And
no emotional intelligence. Okay, Ruslan. I mean, I'm over here having fun. I don't know what you're talking about. Like, how would I write for Sam Hyde if I'm on the spectrum and I don't understand emotional intelligence? I can't interact with people. I mean, hardcore autistic people can't do jokes. They don't have a sense of humor. They don't understand multiple layers of reference and meaning and sense. So again, this is silly.
Keeps having meltdowns and crying and then saying, but I can hold my own.
Do I look like I'm crying? Do I look like I'm having a meltdown? I'm having a blast. I don't know what you're talking about.
And I know what the quorum is, but you don't know what being charitable and graceful and kind.
Oh, we full Lofton now. We went full loft, dog. Be charitable. You are not being charitable. Is it charitable to blow people off when they're very open and kind in chat, saying, let's set a time and have a conversation? You guys saw the messages. Maybe he says, I guess you don't keep up with me, but I got a lot going on. I do YouTube. Perhaps you know, I do a YouTube channel, and I have a ministry, and I preach 4 times a week at church. So perhaps, like, I mean, do you think I'm taking this very seriously, Ruslan? I'm having a blast with this. You are low-cal, Ruslan.
Line is, especially with one of the only people that was trying to give you a lifeline. And
oh yeah, I so need Ruslan. No one else would give me a lifeline. Yeah, I just went on 20 different shows on a podcast tour. Got multiple giant podcasts. I host a massive show every Friday with, you know, multiple millions of listeners. I just need a lifeline. Somebody help me in media. Nobody will help me in media. Ruslan, please, Ruslan. I need your channel. I need you. Yeah, I need you so bad, Ruslan. That's why I'm saying I don't care, dude. Would I be making this video laughing at your ass if I cared?
Trying to get you to events and trying to get you to have these conversations behind the scenes. He doesn't know.
I don't think you're doing that. I don't believe that. I think maybe you asked Wes Huff or Gavin Ortland or somebody to have a debate, and that's about it. So I don't think you're up to me to try and, oh, you're doing all this work for me. You're trying so hard. Who believes that bullshit?
And so anyway, I find the entire thing goofy and
exactly, which is why I'm laughing.
Just lame. And there seems to be these 2 camps of the Orthodox online. There's the Orthobros, which again, I just find completely insufferable. A lot of these folks came out of, at least the leaders came out of presuppositional, Calvinistic, we're so certain about everything. And now
but do you got access? My brothers, who wants access? I'm selling access right now. $4,000 in person. I will personally counsel you at Blessed God Ministries. What's up, dude? I'm you, dog.
Hey Jay, how's it going?
Shit, what you think, man? Hey, I'm over here crying, having a meltdown, son.
Very clearly, you're having the biggest meltdown ever.
What's on your mind?
So I was doing some research on Mormonism, and I found something really interesting. Have you ever seen or read about what the Mormons' opinion on Muhammad is?
No.
So, if you go on their website, you can read about their views on Muhammad. One of their elders named Elder George A. Smith, and he was quoted saying that Muhammad was he was very sympathetic towards Muhammad, and he said that Muhammad was raised up by God to teach against idolatry and polytheism.
Interesting. Hold on, what's the guy's name again? Elder who?
Elder George A. Smith. They also go on to say later, there's also presidents that go on to say that they had a portion of God's light in them, in him, and that he was one of the greatest prophets well, not prophet, they don't use the word prophet towards him, but he was one of the people raised up by God to enlighten the whole nations and to bring higher levels of understanding to individuals.
In 1855, LDS Apostle expressed a positive view of Muhammad, saying he was raised up by God on purpose. He preached against idolatry. The divine purpose in the LDS article argues that Muhammad was descended from Abraham and raised up by God to fight. Muhammad was a moral teacher, expressing those similar to Jesus. Wow, there you go, right there.
Yeah,
I didn't know that. That's pretty fast, but I mean that makes perfect sense, right? I mean that confirms a lot of the points that we've made about the similarity between these heresies.
Well, Joseph Smith during the Mormon Rebellion, he called himself this generation's Muhammad, and that he will lead his people.
Wow.
During the rebellion.
Okay, and then this is an LDS website here, and this is a pro-Mormon website here saying that what prophets and apostles said about Muhammad, and it says Latter-day Saint appreciation of Muhammad can also be found in 1978 President's statement regarding God's love. Muhammad was one of the greatest religious leaders of the world and had a portion of God's light. So there it is right there. Yeah, exactly. So that's, again, 100% proof that Mormonism is Antichrist. Thank you, man. Appreciate that.
That was just a very interesting
No, it's a great.
I just wanted to share that with you.
Thank you. That's a great find. That's really good. That's a gem right there. But I wish I could enjoy it, but I can't because I'm crashing out. So unfortunately, I'm super crashing out right now, and I'm just so unable to control my emotions, and I can't handle life and reality. So I apologize that I can't, because I'm such a spurg. My autism is getting me right now. I wish I could enjoy the truth that you just shared with us. Michael, what's up, dog? And I'm gonna put this hat on instead because Ruslan said I got Zens in my brain. I don't eat no damn Zens. Zens made me throw up, dude. I'm straight Alpin over here. Straight up Alpin. What's up, man? I'm mute.
Hey, Jay.
Yo.
I was wondering about like when people are in communion with heretical doctrines or in full communion with demons, is there a physical effect that happens to them?
There could be. Paul in 1 Corinthians, when he talks about communing at the table of devils and communing at the table of God, seems to speak of, definitely in the case of communing at God's table unworthily, of a negative effect. And it seems logical to me that there could potentially be, in some cases, right, physical effects communing at the table of demons too. I mean, for example, I'm thinking of take the example of maybe not in the case of cults, but in a lot of religions, you have the drugs that are included with the communion with the deity, and the drugs could definitely have a negative effect on the body.
Because I was thinking of like the uncanny valley effect, like that weird fear we have when we see something that looks human, walks human, everything about it looks human, but there's just some tweak off that makes us terrified of it.
Mm-hmm.
So I was wondering, like, if someone is in full communion with a demonic or a heretical doctrine that invites something into them, that it starts physically changing them, and we grow to fear that one person because of that one little detail.
Interesting tie-in there with Uncanny Valley. It's a great question. I'm not sure. I haven't thought about that, but I think there's probably a kernel of truth there for sure. Sir Pontus, what's up, dude? By the way, it's open for him. I don't know where else Ruslan's going to go. He seems to be sort of rambling, but maybe he'll get to some other point here. What's up, man?
Hello, how's it going, sir?
Great. How are you? Actually, I'm sorry. I'm also weeping and having a crash out, even though it looks like I'm having fun. I'm weeping on the inside, you guys, because my spurgatism won't allow me to have a love language.
Okay. So I don't know how related this is to the topic, but I just want to know how you view these CI guys, these guys who think they're the real Jews.
The who?
The Christian identity.
Oh, CI?
Guys.
Oh, they're an absolute crazy Fed-run cult. I mean, if you look at Elohim City, I mean, that's what entrapped and got, McVeigh and all those people doing their thing. That was a CI group. And a lot of the CI groups, not necessarily all of them, but a lot of the CI groups believe in what's called the serpent seed heresy, which is the idea that Eve had sex with the serpent and that spawned the Jews or some race of people. I mean, it's literally just a crazy heresy. So, and a lot of, not every group necessarily, but many of them are also obviously fed, right? It's a obvious, like, perfect fed honeypot situation. And in my estimation, that's what the whole McVeigh situation was. Elohim City was on record, by the way, Fed infiltrated. We got a Roman Catholic, Pulsar. What's up? By the way, the topics are open. You guys can call in about it. It doesn't have to be about Ruslan or Protestant stuff. You call in about whatever you want. That's just the theme tonight. What's up, man?
Where's the Freemason debate? I can't find it anywhere.
I don't think DJ posted it yet. I can look. I can look and see.
I was looking for it like for the last 48 hours.
He didn't tell me when they plan to post it.
Did you do good?
Well, I mean, what do you think I'm gonna say?
Well, yeah. Was the dude a Christian Freemason?
Yeah, it's Chase Geiser, who is former InfoWars host. And then the other guy who works with Bannon's guy, Joe Allen.
Okay.
So he's Church of Christ, and then Chase Geiser's like non-denominational, but was raised, I think, Catholic or something. So yes, their whole argument, basically, I'll tell you what, I want you guys to watch it, because it was, the thing about that debate that surprised me was that it was way more heated than I expected. I thought it was going to be a very sort of just technical, sort of dry back and forth, and it got heated. I mean, I thought twice they were going to rage quit and leave. I mean, it was like, we were at the point of like, these guys are going to leave the stage. Like, it was so heated. And I mean, everybody was nice afterwards, but like the debate itself was intense. It was aggressive. It was one of the most aggressive debates I've been in, actually. So, run down to the debate, basically the whole debate ended up being going into this. We started with why a Christian can't, right? Which I gave a 5-minute opening statement, and then I think they both gave 5-minute opening statements about why you could. I went to Masonic sources and pointed out all the religious theological baggage that goes along with Freemasonry. And then the whole debate ended up being basically, since Freemasonry is not a religious organization, there's nothing that would make it antithetical to a religion like Christianity. So then it turned into a debate demonstrating over and over and over that it is religious. It has all kinds of theological baggage and presuppositions and dogmas. And I think that they absolutely lost 100%. I mean, there was multiple points where the audience was laughing at them.
Yeah, dude, I'm really looking forward to it. I don't know if this is kind of unrelated, But you brought up Church of Christ, and I was watching a debate with Alex and some Church of Christ guy, and I thought Alex did. I see him in here, so I thought he did a really good job. But I want to ask you, Jay. So, can you explain to me like reception theory for when a ecumenical council is infallible, like how it has to be received by the Orthodox Church?
Well, I don't think reception theory is like the only thing. I think that in the Orthodox mindset, there would be several things that would indicate as sort of public identifiable indicators of an ecumenical council, or once the oikumene goes away, what we would call a pan-Orthodox synod. So if you watch Ubi Petrus's video, he does a video on what makes an ecumenical council ecumenical, and he focuses on the canonical interpretation within the canons of the councils themselves, how they identify the councils in terms of authority and validity, and what that means for reception theory. So beyond that, though, if you're asking the question at the individual existential level, we would agree that the final arbiter is the Holy Spirit leading the individual. So I'm not being Protestant when I say that, because whether you're Protestant, whether you're Catholic, or whether you're Orthodox, everybody in those systems admits that the final arbiter is the Holy Spirit leading the individual through the means such as the teachings of the fathers, the councils, etc. So ultimately, we're all in the same boat in that it's the Holy Spirit at the end of the day. However, where we disagree is the means of identifying those councils. And for us, the mind of the Orthodox Church is the ultimate determiner over time of whether something is received as Orthodox or not. So, for example, in the case of the Council of Florence, there were bishops and patriarchs present who we believe failed to keep the Orthodox doctrine. And eventually, throughout the Orthodox world, Florence was not accepted. It was rejected. So likewise, say Nicaea happened, and eventually, after a century or two, the entire Orthodox world accepts the Council of Nicaea. The Palamite synods, they're a Byzantine series of synods that occur, and eventually the entire Orthodox world accepts them. So when we say reception theory, I think there's a lot of angles and components to it. There's not a simple one-size-fits-all answer, except that you could point to things like the canons, for example. The beginning of the councils will say something like, we, following the previous ecumenical synods, identify the markers of those synods as in line with this one, and we intend to continue the previous ecumenical council. So there's canonical indicators, there's a time period where it proliferates throughout the world and it's either accepted or rejected. There are other indicators too, like how many patriarchates are present. Numbers do matter. It's not the ultimate determiner, but how big was it? Obviously, if you had more people there, it's more significant than if it was a small council. But even a small council could conceivably still be correct. So all of those things play into it. And unfortunately, there's not a simple answer as to what makes an ecumenical council a true versus false. But reception theory, by the way, as Ubi points out, and as I pointed out as a Roman Catholic myself when I was Roman Catholic, like reception theory is part of Roman Catholic theology too. Like there's an element of whether the world accepts the cardinal's choice for the papacy as well.
But we believe an ecumenical council is infallible upon its closing, and the examples that you just gave, like I'm not trying to.
No, you don't. That's not true. That's not true.
We believe it's a priori ecumenical, or it's infallible upon its closing.
That's not true. That doesn't tell you. Well, if that was the case, then Lateran 649 would be ecumenical, and Constantinople I would have been ecumenical, but it wasn't accepted by Rome until centuries later.
Because it was out of communion with Leo.
So then it's not at its closing ecumenical by your own argument, because your own church accepted it 2 centuries later.
To be ecumenical, it has to be the bishops of the world teaching communion with the Roman pontiff.
Well, that's your position, but then why isn't Lateran 649 ecumenical?
Well, hold on. I just like.
Are you? So you're just going to blow past? Not going to answer that? You're going to blow past that and not answer that?
Well, you just blew past my point about Constantinople. You just said you believe that. You didn't address.
No. I'm saying that you believe that when it's closed, it's ecumenical. That example refutes that line of argument, because Rome didn't accept it as ecumenical until centuries later.
Do you think the church fathers at Nicaea thought that it had to be accepted centuries later, or did you thought their decision?
Did you not understand? Again, you're not even hearing the arguments. The argument is that on your position, Constantinople 1 refutes you.
No, it doesn't. I still haven't heard your justification for that.
When did Rome accept Constantinople 1?
When I don't know.
It's centuries later, so you don't even know. So again, you didn't understand the argument. The argument was that Constantinople 1
Well, I don't know like the exact date.
it's centuries later.
That's just not true.
It is true. Your own theologians admit that. What are you talking about? You just admitted that. You just said.
I was just asking.
You just.
Look, I'm not an
No, you're not. You're not just asking. You said a minute ago that it happened out of communion with Leo. It wasn't out of. It wasn't out of communion with Leo, by the way. Leo wasn't the Pope during Constantinople 1. It was out of communion with Rome, though.
Okay, well, I was just like, that's just what.
Okay, when was Constant? Do you know when Constantinople 1 was? Okay, you don't even know. No, 381, dude. You don't even know what you're talking about. Why are you in here trying to debate? You have no idea what you're talking about. This is why these idiots come in here with this asshole attitude, trying to debate, and then they don't know anything about what they're talking about. And that guy will go and say that I was mean to him when he just asserted a whole bunch of nonsense. He has no idea. He didn't even know when the councils happened. What's up, Alex?
Yo, what's up?
Constantinople 1 is 381. What's up?
Yeah, I just wanted to say for that guy, I mean, the K80 document explicitly says that reception is the test for whether a council is ecumenical, and you have 2 cardinals, multiple bishops, and like all of his top scholars signing off on that. It's just another example of how Roman Catholic apologetics are just totally detached
from reality.
Like what these guys are hearing online is totally detached
from Roman reality,
right? And experts and clergy say.
Yeah, Roman reality is one thing. Online apologists is another thing. 2 different worlds.
Yeah. On Ruslan, though, I think like all the ad homs show exactly where his priorities are. And the fact that he thinks like what you want is some sort of material gain or some sort of business exchange, it shows what he values.
Exactly.
Right.
Yep.
So the fact that he's going to use those insults against you, it shows where all of his priorities are. And it just confirms that really he is a grifter at the end of the day.
Unfortunately, and you know, if we say these things to hurt, it is so that there might be healing. And so ultimately, yeah, whether I'm mean or not, the bigger deal is, are you grifting or not?
They're Orthodox, and then I have like the normies on the ground that are some of the most kindest, gentlest people, and they sometimes say, "Well, I'm going to be, Protestant in secret, and I'll still pray with you guys, and I'll still do events with you guys, and all these sorts of things." And I often can't get a clear answer on what you guys even believe. Like I was watching Josh Nadell get pressed in Alex's stream about even coming to my event and even praying and worshiping with Protestants, because
a catechumen was being pressed on a topic. That means we don't know what we believe. This is so bad faith. Like, go ahead.
Yeah, and if I could just add briefly that he was going around in the comments of this very video saying that the stream that I did was bad faith. Before I did that stream, everybody in the comments of Ruslan's video, they were all saying that, who is this guy? We don't know who Josh Window is. Why are you getting this guy? Nobody knows who he is. He's totally a stranger. Dude, when I got him on my stream, every single comment, like 90 to 95% of the comments on that video are like, "Alex, thank you so much for having him on. He seems like a really cool guy. Like, it's kind of a shame that he was put in this position, but I guess he really didn't do anything wrong. It was just a poor decision from Ruslan's part." And he's going to go around and say that, like, the stream was bad faith. Like, dude, that stream was a favor for him, and it really helped his friend, at least to become more familiar in the community. It's just such a crazy double standard.
And also, what do you mean Ruslan doesn't know what we believe? I mean, has Ruslan ever even read one Orthodox writing? Has he read any dogmatic theology? Of course not. So what is he talking about? I don't know what you guys, I can't figure out what you guys believe. Well, maybe take a break from those stupid, dumb rap songs and read a book or two, Ruslan.
We're heretics. Remember, we're heretics. We're not in the...
He spoke to numerous unnamed moderators about unspecified prompts. He talked to them at unknown times. All of these unknown people, these abstractions.
Yes, and they cannot, and also the Orthodox that he talks to. By the way, I mean, Ruslan could easily reach out to me and ask me a question about some theological topic. He's never done that. He did have me on the show. That's true. And we had a discussion about several Orthodox things, and we had several topics relating to justification and that kind of stuff. But we did not, he's never reached out since then to discuss any theology issues, which he could very easily do. He has other very well-educated Orthodox friends that he could easily reach out to if he has some kind of question. So, or he could actually just read a book. I don't know why he can't just do that.
The church, the one true church is the ark. We're not in. And he was getting pressed on that. But then I talked to other folks, and they're super kind and super gentle. And so I just think there's so much sleight of hand with these conversations.
That's a bad faith line of argument, though, because anybody in any group, you could find within any group people who misrepresent or don't know the positions of the group, right? That's like saying, well, I talked to a lot of Roman Catholics, and Roman Catholicism isn't true because there's a bunch of different Roman Catholics. That's a bad line of argument. If you're discussing the topic of the lack of clarity in Catholic dogma, sure, you can make that argument. You can point that out, but it doesn't disprove the system because a bunch of the members of the group are unclear. And I would argue actually that you can be selective in your bias too, in terms of who you ask, right? If I ask a bunch of new converts about what the Roman Catholic doctrines and dogmas are, they're probably not going to know. So likewise, to press, somebody on a difficult theological issue that is a catechumen, it's not a good, fair measure of what Orthodox theology teaches. And he should know that. So he keeps acting like, I can't get any clear answers, and we just don't know. And who knows what Orthodox theology says? And have you actually read any Orthodox theological book that's like used at a seminary? I mean, you could start there.
This entire crash out just seems like a huge projection. So like all the things that he's insecure about,
exactly,
he's trying to push on everybody else.
There's so much chest thumping in these conversations, and I would love to have these conversations, but what I'm not going to do is sit here and need to defend every single Protestant doctrine under the sun. I want you guys to substantiate your...
Who has even asked you to do that, though? Like, I mean, when we had the debate on your channel, I went in there not knowing anything about what he wanted to talk about, and he immediately went into the subject of justification. Ruslan did not tell me ahead of time, I'm going to have a 2 hour long discussion with you about justification. He didn't tell me, and I don't care. It doesn't bother me one bit that he just asked me all of a sudden about justification, and we went into this 2 hour diversion after talking about Hollywood and cults for 2 hours. But I don't care. It doesn't bother me at all. Like, it doesn't bother me that you ask me defend, your position of justification in light of what Paul says and what James says and this and that. And he pulls up all these verses that he had ready to go. I had no prior knowledge that he was going to do that, but I don't care. It doesn't bother me. And I think he disastrously lost that discussion as well. He didn't know. I pulled out like 5 different fallacies. He had no idea what the fallacies even were. So he's making all these fallacious lines of argument. He doesn't even know what the fallacies are, but it didn't bother me. Like, none of that was a problem at the time of him bringing that up. But now he says, I don't have to defend all of these different Protestant positions. I don't even know we haven't even talked about a prompt of the debate. So what are you even talking about? Nobody said you have to defend every Protestant doctrine. I'm sure in the prompt of the debate, we would pick one doctrine. So I don't know what you're talking about.
Claims is the one true church, and your dogmas that, in my opinion, contradict scripture in the first 100 years church history. So I'm willing to have that conversation.
Yeah. Well, we don't care that you think that, and but so you want to argue what the ecclesiology of the church, that there is no one true church in the first century because of, quote, the clear reading of scripture. Okay. I mean, if you wanted to make ecclesiology in the early church, we could do that. And the only reason I think he's saying that is because he's cribbing from Gavin Ortland's line of argument. Ruslan doesn't have any of his own theology. Anything that he argues, it's cribbed from Gavin Ortland. That's his go-to big daddy. So the only thing he's going to even conceivably debate will be the ecumenist idea of accretion, of the church being everybody, I don't know, professing Jesus or something, and then some idea of accretions. So the debate will be a proxy debate with Gavin Ortland.
Jay's going to need to grow up. Jay's going to need to understand how to talk to grown men that we're not.
You don't blow me off and flex your channel in my face and then tell me that I'm not a grown man. I mean, I've been out here debating all of the biggest people bigger than you, including atheists, gatheists, on channels and outlets bigger than you. And no, I don't. You telling me to man up and talk. I mean, men talk smack and say stuff like this. Men don't say, learn the love language.
UFC fighters. I know this is blood sport to him. This is not an MMA match. You're not gonna call me gay and bait me into a debate. No, you need to be a man, apologize, repent, show fruit of repentance, and
Apologize for what? And no, you're not gonna morally hold me by some blackmail that I have to repent to you. You already agreed to a public debate.
maybe someday we'll have a conversation. But until then, let me know. Who do you guys want me to debate? I'm so willing to have the conversation.
Oh, but he said 4 times he would debate me, but now he's added a moral blackmail criteria. I won't debate you unless you publicly that you apologize. Did you say publicly? I don't remember if you said publicly or not. I thought you didn't have time for phone calls.
In person, formal structure on one of your dogmas that you claim is unchanging. That you can, and by your dogmas, I'm being specific. Intercession of the saints, icons. I want to have that conversation.
Dude, he's so triggered. He's so like worried. He's taking this so seriously. He wants me to publicly repent. Publicly repent to my 800K right now. In fact, you should probably pay me money. You all actually owe me money because of the way you talk to me. Yeah, I should probably charge you for that.
You must confess your sins to a priest in order to have your sins absolved. I'm gonna have that conversation. Those are conversations I mentioned.
Yeah, I mean, there's quite a few New Testament passages that you seem to be not aware of, Ruslan. So I hope we do have those conversations. But you sounds like now you've walked it back, and you won't have it until I bow to some sort of arbitrary list of what I have to do to publicly repent to you. He did say publicly. So at first it was I need to call him and repent. Now I need to publicly grovel and repent. Well, I don't think I've done you wrong. You started all this mess, and you're the one that's crashed out, Ruslan. You're the one demanding that I repent. I don't answer to you. You're not my spiritual father. I don't publicly repent for you. And you're the one doing the summoning here. I think you think that you're some sort of preacher that we respect and we look to in awe, or some sort of like, prowess because of 800K. I don't care. And you see, these people don't know how to handle people that don't care. Alex, did you want to say something else?
Yeah, I've still been going back and forth in these like comments with Ruslan, and he even admitted at one point, he was like, dude, this guy's like trying to bribe me. He's like, I was trying to give you a shot, man, but it's sad that you didn't acknowledge certain things. Like it's
he thinks he can pay you with attention through the channel. He's blackmailing you through the channel and access, which is what every retard crypto scammer does. So basically, Ruslan is a religious crypto scammer. It's the same model of like the Tate Bros in their university, and you got to pay all this money to get access. And dude, I don't care about your access. It's what?
It's pay to play. And it's funny because he was complaining about me like speculating that they're maybe perhaps running something like a little racket over there, that there's only like certain people that are permitted. Like he just admitted he was trying to give me a shot, and he's trying to blackmail me with access. Like he's admitting exactly what I suspected, which is that they have a small group of acceptable people that are going to behave in a certain way. That I was watching the debates between Gavin and Trent, and I'm like, man, at certain points, it does look like fixed boxing matches because there are so many kill shots available to Trent that he just never takes against Gavin. And I'm just thinking, like, man, this really is some like funny, informal little arrangement that they have.
Yeah, it's a funny comment here too. I don't believe in confessing to priests, but Ruslan demands that we publicly repent for him. So it's like, no, dude, you're in super delusion here.
And I have some degree of standards. I don't do things virtually. Why? Because despite popular opinion, you guys think, oh, he's afraid. I'm actually known to crash out on people as well. And so I've set boundaries in my own life to say, hey, I am not going to do virtual conversations. I want to be in the room because there's something different in the room. I need to have a moderator. We need to have a structure to the conversation. Yeah,
that's fine. I don't care whether it's in person or virtual. I've never cared about this. People always make some big deal about this. I don't care whether it's virtual or in person either way.
Gish Gallop, and I'm not going to be lectured about logical fallacies and epistemological certainty. Okay.
Oh, you're not going to be lectured about logical fallacies, and you want to debate, Ruslan? You wanted
to basic rules of debate. Man.
These are the rules of debate, you idiot. Like you've been clamoring for a debate with Nick Fuentes and Candace for a year, and you want to be a debater, but you don't care about logical fallacies. You just showed you're an idiot.
have a moderator. We need to have a structure to the conversation. We're not just going to get gish gallop, and I'm not going to be lectured about logical fallacies and epistemology.
If you make logical fallacies, you will get lectured. And if you recall the 2-hour justification debate that we had on his podcast, that's what he's referring to, is because I called out his fallacy. So he's basically saying, I don't care. I'm going to make fallacies. You're not going to call me out on it. This shows you're an idiot, man.
Logical certainty. Okay, I'm not interested. I want to have a real conversation.
You're not interested in epistemic certainty? You want to have a real conversation. Well, what you talked about, the perspicuity of the text. So, Ruslan, I'm going to need to know what the method is for knowing what the clear texts are according to you as a Protestant. How do you demonstrate that? And what's the public criteria that we can go to know that?
I want you guys to substantiate that you're the one true unchanging church and your dogmas don't ever change.
Okay, so now he wants to quoque and throw the burden of proof back on us because Protestantism is indefensible. So you guys defend your position.
Yet we see, I'd argue, a good amount of changing from Scripture and into the first 100 years of church history. That's the conversation I want to have. So,
okay, Ruslan, I don't believe that you actually know anything about the patristic or post-apostolic period. I don't think you know anything about it. So until you demonstrate that you have read the apostolic fathers, the post-apostolic fathers, or anybody in the first and second century, I'm not going to take that claim very seriously at all. So you're having to put your, I kind of feel sorry for Ruslan because he's having to he's in a tough position to where he can't say no to the debate. He's got to save face for the channel and all this kind of stuff. But at the same time, he doesn't want to do the debate. So he's putting up this moral blackmail position that I have to publicly repent. This is exactly what Lofton did. Lofton said, I will not interact with, debate Jay Dyer. He must publicly repent for the jokes and things.
If you guys have somebody that you would like to see me have that conversation with, drop their name.
Oh, now it's not Jay Dyer. So notice I told you guys he would back out of it, and he's invented a moral excuse when he had said right here, I will debate Jay Dyer. I already said I would debate him. Right here. You've seen it twice. He said it 4 times at the beginning of this video too. So now he's walked it back.
Comments. I would really like to see that, and maybe we could figure out a moderator. Maybe we could figure out some time to do this. Not on your time. Not Ruslan, drop everything you have going on.
Yeah, nobody said you had to drop everything. Nobody gave you some time limit. There's literally no times were even hinted at. Literally no times were hinted at. So this is all made up.
We understand you got a book. We understand you got a summit. We understand you're doing a tour. We understand you also preach and teach at your local church. We understand you have a family with little kids. No, drop all of it and do it right now. I don't owe anyone.
Nobody said that. This is made up bullshit. He's just lying.
A conversation. No one's entitled to come onto my channel. But
nobody said we are. Nobody expected to go on your channel. That's why I said don't do it on your channel.
I want to represent you guys accurately. And I feel like I've done, up until this point, I've done a fairly good job. Even with having Josh there, I feel like I've had a really...
Jalen, what's up? You're raising your hand. I'm mute.
Yo.
Yeah.
What's up, Jay?
What's on your mind?
Yeah, so I had a couple questions. So I heard that in order for a ecumenical council to be ecumenical, the Pope has to ratify it. So what do you think about that?
So, I mean, who says that?
I heard it from a Roman Catholic friend.
Okay. Well, I heard from a Roman Catholic friend that you can touch butts and put pee-pee in the poo-poo. So what is that?
What do you think about that claim, though? What do you think about it?
Okay. Well, did the fathers at Constantinople I think that when they were out of communion with Rome?
No clue.
The answer is no, right? So again, that's why I brought up Constantinople I to the previous guy. Myron Chuck, what's up, man? How you doing? Jason Myron Chuck, we lost you. You fell out. Nikolai, what's up, dog? K41, we'll go to you too. After Nikolai, what's up?
I just got done reviewing the same kind of stuff that you were. You know, I was actually pretty pleased with how Josh handled himself overall in the discussion. But one thing I noticed, and this is exactly the criticism that we were all bringing up originally to Ruslan, which made him crash out, is Josh is clearly not an experienced rhetorician. He's not an experienced debater. And Gavin and Trent just mogged the whole debate, the whole discussion. Like, I think he spoke a grand total of maybe 10 minutes out of the entire, allotted time.
Yeah.
Because
on reflection,
Trent are trained in sucking out all of that oxygen.
Right.
And so that's part of the criticism. And I think Josh handled himself well overall. but it was very just like this weird energy where Trent kept on trying to piggyback off of Josh's answers and say, "Oh yeah. See, the Catholic Church also holds." It's like, well, why are you like interrupting his answer? You're sucking up all the oxygen.
Well,
and Ruslan did a horrible job too moderating by not even letting. It's like, hey, you guys got a chance to answer that question. Josh, do you have any thoughts? Right? He didn't even do that. So it's just a bad panel discussion overall.
yeah, I don't believe Ruslan's good intention anymore. In fact, I think the interactions have actually forced Ruslan to kind of spill the beans about. I think he's got bad. I think he's a sort of a weaselly snake person who has bad motives. I think he is trying to throw jabs at us, and he doesn't want any pushback. And he's trying to get attention. He's trying to get all kinds of. There's multiple motivations, but I no longer believe the good-hearted motives line anymore. Only because of what he's saying in this. Only because of what he's saying in this video. And also, like, okay, you've got all these good-hearted motives. Like, a lot of this would have been avoided if you just said, "Yeah, let's talk for 5 minutes and get this ironed out." But he blew me off and flexed his channel in my face, and he's still flexing his channel in Alex's face. It's like, that's not the attitude of a person who is so good-hearted and charitable.
Well, and also he deflects to and me and Alex talked about this on my stream not too long ago, like maybe an hour or two ago. And he says, well, my employees changed the name to a debate and it's not my fault. Well, you're the boss. Like anybody who runs a business knows that ultimately the blame lies on your feet. So he's trying to have it both ways.
Exactly.
Where he can be the person that's innocent in all of this. I'm just trying to be like a good faith, middleman between all these different actors. And then at the same time say, well, it's not actually, it's actually all these guys' fault. He's trying to have it both ways. It's ridiculous.
I think that's ultimately what I get from this video. And who believes now that, it was just the fault of his staff? And then, by the way, I mean, if nobody had pushed back, who thinks he would have actually changed the title? Nobody.
A good intention job to represent you guys accurately, and that's often met with initially love bombing, and then secondly, just complete meltdowns and whining, which to me, I'm not saying Eastern Orthodoxy is a cult, but this pocket of orthobros is very culty. It's very culty. You guys all have this, the creators in this orbit all kind of have the same aesthetic as Jay. You guys all have the same 80s Knight Rider type vibes to yourself. Like, it's all very...
Okay. By that line of argumentation, all of the gay, ugly, evangelical lack of aesthetics means that you're all in the same aesthetic less cult. So it's like that falls back on you too, dog. K41, what's up?
Yo, what's up, Jay? I just had a quick question. How familiar are you with John Zerka?
That crazy internet dude, Zerka?
Yeah.
I know of him. I don't know anything about him.
Yeah, so basically what he's been pushing out to his audience is
doesn't he push he goes from Tradcat to Gnostic to Masonic. It's all over the place.
Yeah, it's very strange. I don't know if you're familiar with Rosicrucianism and
I am.
Rudolf Steiner.
Is he pushing that now?
No, that's what John Zerka is pushing out, yeah. And he's called you out a couple of times saying that you're a low-level incarnation in that Rudolf Steiner is a superior Christian you.
Okay. That's fine. I mean, if people want to go with some kind of crazy Gnostic weirdo cult dude, that's up to them. Jason, what's up? Myron Chuck? Jason, you want to speak?
Oh, I think I'm lagging here. I think I'm a few steps behind. I don't know what's been said already. Just jumping in kind of halfway through the conversation and halfway through the Rus-run whole thing. I don't understand how Joshua was allowed to speak on that stage. And this isn't a dig on him. But yeah, unfortunately, I think this is maybe a good lesson for people to understand some media literacy, how these people are not your friends. There is a concerted effort to take down or embarrass orthodoxy.
Absolutely.
And
yeah,
that that was my takeaway from kind of speed watching the Ruslan thing, because I was holding my tongue until I actually saw the whole presentation. And yeah, again, this is not against Josh. He was doing what he thought was best, but yeah, no, no, there's no way a catechumen should be allowed on that stage. Like, I don't know who gave that blessing. I don't know what the conversation was. I don't want to cast any dispersions, but under no circumstances should that have happened. And I will not believe for a second that Ruslan and everyone on that stage didn't know exactly what they were doing.
Yeah, I no longer believe Ruslan's motives were good. But go ahead, Alex.
I did have Joshua on my stream, and
I watched that one too. Sorry, Alex.
Yeah, he gave some facts over there where this started off. It was supposed to be like a testimonial type of thing where, they were just talking about how they landed on whatever tradition they landed on, which is relatively harmless. It was only a few days before they had agreed to that, a month before the conference, right? The panel discussion and the attendees. And it was only a few days before the actual conference that they had changed the topic of the panel to justification. So it seems like there was a little bit of like boiling the frog going on there.
Well, I think it's also, we say there's a lot of things that are said even in catechism that we don't understand maybe until at some point, right? Like at some point you're going to understand it. And if you're not involved in the media space, you really don't understand it, right? Like my spiritual father told me to peace out for a few months after the J. Dyer Federal Fed. He was just like, look, you need to concentrate on your catechism and make that a priority. I was like, all right, no problem, right? And so I took 4 months off. And it was good that I did, because the danger always is assuming authority, not just over what you know, because it's not just about what you know. It's authority with like presenting yourself as authority for the church. And that's something that you just have to grow into, and it's going to take the time it takes, and you may never have that authority. And that's fine, like a public authority kind of figure. That's fine. That's why, like, Jay Dyer is Jay Dyer. Andrew Wilson is Andrew Wilson. Like these people are Alex Soren is Alex Soren. Like these people are given graces and given blessings to speak in that capacity. But it's not a right. It's a gift. It's a blessing, and that can be taken away. And I think that's something that maybe I don't know where it's falling apart for some people. I don't want to blame priests or anyone like on that level. I don't know, right? Because I don't know what the conversation is being had. But I think there has to be a great deal more responsibility on the individual, whether a catechumen, inquirer, or certainly a baptizer faithful, to know your role a little bit and know that, hey, you don't speak for the church. Like, there are people who are granted that authority, and that's great, but you're not them. And, cool your jets a bit. Because, yeah, that's, the knives are out, and there's tons of people because I guarantee you, right, if you don't cross all the dots and, dot all the I's and cross all the T's, and someone like Trent Horn can catch you out on something, that's the thing he's going to call. He's going to call orthodox to people, and every single Orthodox debater for the next 15 years is going to have to deal with that statement. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what's at risk.
Appreciate those comments, Jason. Let's listen a little more Ruslan here and see if we can get to the end of it.
Culty to me, and that sucks again because my on the ground experience with.
So yeah, if you're into Miami Vice and palm trees, and if you have an '80s aesthetic, it's just obviously it's a culty, right?
Orthodox folks is very different, and so I'm not saying I have some moral high ground. I'm saying because I know my flesh is weak, and if I end up in a situation where I get angry, I don't want to put myself in that type of situation. I don't want to misrepresent Jesus. I don't want to stumble into the flesh. I know my own weakness, and I know there has to be parameters and boundaries towards these conversations. And so unfortunately, Jay has crashed out. He's cussed me out. He's cussed me out privately. He's cussed me out publicly. He said vile things about me that I just are not true all along.
Yeah, the vile thing I said was you're a pretentious grifter, dude. So yeah, and then what was the cussing was you're a douchebag.
When it was efficient to benefit from my platform, he asked to come on my platform twice, mind you. Okay,
No, I asked to do a debate, and you said that I could come on your platform and we could have a discussion. So I said, yeah, I'd be happy to do that. So he acts like I was begging to come on his platform. Do I care about coming on his platform? No, I don't.
asked me to call into his live stream several times, mind you, and posing as this like I'm just a comedian. Meanwhile, this all he does is sit and debate theology, which
it's not true. We do live events. We did a 5-week-long podcast tour. I spent 2 years writing a book on Hollywood, Esoteric Hollywood 3, which you can get signed copies in the shop. As you guys know, that is out. Last year we did, 10 live events related to the book and to geopolitics. We hosted multiple stand-up comedians at our live events. I spent the last year writing with Ryan Rivera, Pat Dixon, and Brendan Wilds for the Sam Hyde Show. So he acts like all I do is sit and do debates. None of that is actually true.
Which is cool, right? Which is cool. But there's so many people lined up, willing and ready to debate Jay Dyer.
Who are these people? He's talking about some rando, weird, schismatic guy with 2,000 followers. I'm not going to debate that guy. Who are the people lined up? Why can't you just name them?
That he doesn't want to. Okay, again, the true Orthodox. They've been asking for debate. Seems like you keep ducking them. Why is that? There's all sorts of people that are willing to debate, and yet it seems like he only wants to.
Well, I also have other reasons for why I wouldn't necessarily accept a debate with that kind of a group or person. I believe that a lot of those groups are actually used by feds to push a wedge in the Orthodox world, and there's a significant amount of information to back that up, including authorities from within our own church that discuss that, as well as academic and intelligence history authorities, including my recent interview with John Kiriakou, which will come out pretty soon, next few days, I would imagine. I talked to the producer today, and he said the expectation is before the end of the month. So within the next week, the John Kiriakou interview comes out, and of course, Kiriakou would be an intelligence authority, a whistleblower, a longtime CIA operative in Greece, himself also Orthodox, who also backs up this point about intelligence usage of schismatics. So I have all kinds of reasons, and I don't have to even tell Ruslan the reasons why I'm not interested in debating a tiny schismatic group that I think has quite a bit of connection with, especially in the case of Agathangel and the Roka groups and their connection to the Ukraine and the schism in Ukraine. And of course, I don't have to tell or explain any of that to Ruslan, and I've explained that on my channel many times.
The seems. I'm not saying the seems is certain, okay? Stop with the all or nothing thinking. But it seems like he only wants to debate people with much bigger platforms than him.
You mean like you do with Candace and Nick Fuentes? So, yeah, of course people want to debate people with bigger platforms. Duh. I mean, why do you think I went on Piers Morgan to debate the Gatheists? Why would I go on Jesse Lee Peterson? Like, of course. What are you talking about?
And I think that's lame. I think if we're really about the...
You think that's lame? Well, then you should be willing to do the debate about the theology, because you care about people believing in a works-based salvation that's not the true gospel, right? I mean, if you really believe that, you're dedicated to the gospel, you think it's the Protestant justification by faith alone, sola fide line of argumentation, you gotta be out here, refuting the ortho bros, dog.
The seeking of truth. You should be willing to debate anybody at any time, because that's the expectation of me, isn't it? So
no, that's not true. The seeking of truth does not, it's a non sequitur to say that because I seek the truth, I must be willing to debate anyone at any time. Now, who out here comes the closest of anybody, except for now perhaps Alex and others who do the same model, not that I care, of how having people call in. Who else out here in this sphere allows everyone to call in and to debate, and does blood sports, and does public formal debates? Oh, me. No one else does this. Tim Gordon, willing to do a blood sport debate and willing to do a formal debate. Tim Gordon doesn't do call-in public goober debates. I do. So no one else is willing to do the very thing that I do, except for some other people now. So that itself refutes everything Ruslan's saying.
What's with the double standards? So, having said that, Orthodox listeners, I appreciate you. I think you're wrong, and I'm not going to back down from that, but I appreciate you. And
you don't appreciate them because you just said a giant portion of them are in a cult. So, again, contradiction. Go ahead, Alex.
I just think it's rich that he keeps on, I think you could have pushed a little more on this, but he keeps on equivocating between literally an anonymous call-in show that's for edutainment purposes versus a professional onstage production at his Bless God Summit conference that he's gonna post for like everyone to see. Like, on what planet are those two things comparable?
Yeah, most of the people who call in here are not named, right? How is that equivalent to what he's offering Yale with a giant public venue here?
Appreciate the pushback, and we're going to make it right. Me and Gavin Ortland will have a conversation. Let me know who you guys want to have a conversation with. Secondly,
so you already said you would do it with me, and your backing out reason is that I must publicly. It's not. Notice he keeps changing the claims. Originally, it was call him and have a conversation where I apologize to him on the phone, and then at the end of this video, it changed to you must publicly repent for the things. Well, is it like what's the criteria going to be by the end of the video? Like, do I have to fly to Antarctica and do the public apology in Hebrew on top of an ice mountain, or I mean, like, is it going to change by the end of the video?
Orthobros, you guys are insufferable. I've seen this.
You want to say something, Alex?
It just sounds to me like Ruslan needs to forgive his mother. Honestly, he's forgiving his mother.
Ruslan, have you forgive your mother? Your mother at the gates of hell. Have you forgive your mother?
You just angry.
You angry at your mother.
Forgiving your mother. If you just let your mother
What the ambiguity?
it will flow with your mother, babe.
I forgot that he said, which was actually really funny when I was watching some of the clips, and he said at the very beginning, he goes, well, what made you become Orthodox and not just a normal Christian? Why would you be Orthodox and not just normal?
Happened before. We've seen it happen with the new atheists, then we saw it happen with the Reformed and Restless group of everyone being 1,000-point Calvinist, and then we saw it happen with the online manosphere red pill community.
What is he talking about?
This has came and gone before, and
what's coming and going? Oh, ortho bros are a fad that's going to come and go, but not his made up business church. That will stay. That's here for the long haul, y'all.
You should just change your last name to Tate, Jay. Just Tate and join the group.
Yeah, well, the ortho bros are a fad, dude, and it's just an aesthetic, and it's coming and going. But Ruslan's strip mall business church is here for the long. It's apostolic, dog. Didn't you know in the 4th century, Saint Athanasius, he actually went to a blessed God business strip mall church? If y'all didn't know.
Atheists, then we saw it happen with the Reformed and Restless group of everyone being 1,000-point Calvinist, and then we saw it happen with the online manosphere red pill community. This has came and gone before, and I promise you, if Jay Dyer is your cult leader, I promise you, if this is your pope, if this is your king, this is not going to end well for you guys.
Is this script literally just copied and pasted from Lofton's 2018, 2019, 2020 videos? I feel like he just like put into an AI, like, what's the best way to like go after the ortho bros? And the AI was like, well, you could just copy paste the Lofton model, except that it didn't work. Like the Lofton model didn't work and nobody cared. It didn't put an end to my channel. It did. I remember back at that time, specifically Ibarra said, Jay's channel's going down. It's not going to keep growing. He's at about 30,000 and I don't expect it to go nowhere. And here we are, over 200 and almost at 130K here on X. And I do expect, Lord willing, that we will continue to have growth. So, but it's not about channels. It's not about brands. Notice how Protestant the whole idea of branding your God ministry is. It's just so preposterous. And that's why I don't make this a theology brand, right? I do talk about theology, but I see this more as infotainment and edutainment. And I don't call myself a theologian. I very rarely even say I'm an apologist, because I try to focus on and stay in my lane. So a lot of this, and I think people think that that seems to resonate. I think with people, they find it more authentic than this sort of polished sort of brand approach where you're interacting with some, business deal, right? Like I feel like I'm at some business deal or something with the Protestant ethos of the church, and it's business church, right? And so who actually believes that the post-apostolic church was Bless God Ministries business church, right? Nobody believes that.
This is going to end in doom. And my question to you is, where would you draw the line with how Jay Dyer acts outside of debates? Where is the line?
Oh, here we go. It's going to end in doom. He's implying that the ortho bros are going to be led through my aggressive debate style to what? We're going to do Fed actions. Is he trying to say we're going to do false flag event? Like, what's he talking about? Like, we're going to start taking out, like, we're going to have a political revolution. I mean, this is actually getting into the domain of like, okay, you're actually losing it, dude. This is schizo tier stuff. Like, somebody was saying, and maybe that's why he's saying this. Somebody was saying that Gavin and perhaps Trent, I don't know if Trent was included in this, but they were saying that they're actually afraid of going to a public venue because the ortho bros are dangerous people. Now, I've shown you guys the multiple times where what appear to be Roman Catholics, trad cats, and people in Latinizer groups. And we had another comment that I posted from some years ago that seemed to be a schizophrenic person where the people say they're going to take me out, right? There's people who say fairly, I would say maybe every year or on average, I get the preposterous death threat on YouTube, right? Or on Twitter or in my DMs or whatever, right? And anybody who gets a significant audience will eventually get one of these kind of coded or not so coded messages of, I'm going to unalive Jay Dyer. I just posted that the other day in a Latinizer, a Protestant, probably trad cat guy saying he's going to come to my house and take me out. He knows where I live. I posted that. So that's the people who are our opposition. I've yet to see an ortho bro do anything like that. Of course, you'll probably get Fed sock accounts and phonies making those kinds of accounts now doing it. But somebody was saying that these people in Ruslan circles are scared, that they're scared for their life, right? The probably, I'm thinking, where would they even get this? And I'm thinking, like, imagine thinking that you're not going to do a debate with Dyer because the ortho bros might assassinate you or something. I mean, it's just so crazy. It's so preposterous. Go ahead.
Well, Jay, don't you know, it's not a threat to their lives, it's a threat to their livelihood. That's what they mean. I mean, but no, one thing that I noticed about this whole Ruslan thing is that in the entire thing is he completely ignores the schizos from their own camp.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and the other thing is that I've been in these circles for a while now. I mean, it's been 8 years now that I've been in Orthodox circles, and I've never seen this like alleged proof of like these schizo replies where Ruslan is like implying that they're going after my wife, they're going after this.
Yeah, right.
Where? Show me the receipts. Like, I'm sick and tired of having to like disavow internet orthodoxy, whatever that means, every time there's an alleged claim of impropriety by a anonymous account with 2 followers.
Yeah, right. Which could be anybody, right?
Like, I'm sick and tired of it. And the last thing that I'll say on that is the ortho bros are by far, they have to be the most committed people to the act ever. Like, oh, this is just a fad. If it's a fad, that's a really hard commitment for a fad. Like, orthodoxy is not easy. Going to church, standing for 2 hours, your back is sore, you know, being a catechumen for sometimes a year, 2, 3 years. In my case, it was 3 years. Like, if it's a fad, then man, it must be a really, really good fad. Like,
Right.
Like these people are so unserious.
Yeah, the ortho bro phase from say 2016 to 2018, many of those guys are now married with kids. They're becoming deacons. They're becoming clergy. You know, everybody knows of who's the guy that used to do Orthodoxy First. You know, he's probably already a priest by now. Luke Kendrat's already a priest. So I mean, we're like 10 years into this, and this is just totally contrary to what he's saying here.
You guys want me to be a Trent Horn apologist or a Gavin Ortland apologist? Like, those guys don't want to sit down with Jay for their own reasons. Some of the same reasons I'm dealing with now. If you don't understand why, you may need to see if you're on the spectrum, okay?
Okay, so everybody who's an ortho bro is a Spurg. But here's the thing. At the live event, when we had the debate with the Masons, I would say we had about maybe anywhere from 80 to 100 people at the event.
And I would say out of the majority of the attendees, probably 70 to 80 of the people were there on our side, as opposed to a handful of Freemasons supporting the Masonic side. And I would say of all of those guys that got in the line to get books, pictures, etc., to to talk to me, I would say most of those dudes looked like based Chad dudes. They were there with wives, girlfriends. Not everybody, but I would say several were. When we did when I spoke at the Ludwell conference, I mean, it was almost all based Chad dudes. A lot of wives, a lot of girlfriends there as well. So this is not accurate in terms of now maybe in the online spheres there's a sector of spurgy Latinizers or something like that, but I would say that what might have been a valid criticism of the ethos of the Ortho Bros in 2016, 17, 18 is not really that accurate anymore. And every group has these extreme 20-year-olds and 17-year-olds and 14-year-olds. Alex, go ahead.
I just wanted to talk to Nikolai's second point there, where he said like this disavowing of like the bad Ortho Bros, and like I sent out that tweet today because like I talked to Ruslan a little bit in one of his live stream chats, and like kind of guilted me into it. So I was like, guys, if you are memeing about his wife and children, please stop doing it. And I gave him that concession, and friggin' 2 seconds later, you give him a few minutes, and this guy's already talking shit in his comments, like calling me bad faith and trying to disparage my reputation. So, Nikolai, you're spot on with that. You give him like your pinky, they'll take your whole arm.
Jason?
I just want to say that I think our ortho autists are actually a strength. Many of them.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, that's a good point.
Without our Orthodox autists, I think we just lean in and accept that. Like it's certainly not a bad thing that I think we attract a certain caliber of young man who wants to give themselves diligently to the faith in all aspects, and that's sometimes intellectual or otherwise, right? But like we certainly have some of the best and most diligent minds in the religious sphere. Like, and I mean the bar is not set that high, unfortunately, but I think we certainly have them.
Grok, what's up?
I don't know, Jay. I just popped on over here probably a little over an hour ago when the Ruslan section started. And I was listening to it, man. You might want to do that public repentance, or Ruslan might track you down in public and throw his bloody tampon at you and then nag you to death.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know who this is resonating with, but I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of feeling. I feel a little sorry for Ruslan. Honestly, I'm starting to feel like I'm being a little too. I don't know. Into the furnace. What's up? I do and I don't. Right? Like I feel sorry for him at one level, but at the same time, it's like, you brought a lot of this on yourself, dude. Into the furnace. I'm mute.
Hey, what's up, buddy? Something that I've been finding really interesting is I'm noticing that a lot of these like Protestant guys, Gavin or Ruslan or whatever, you know what it feels like to me? It feels like they're really comfortable. They're on the top. And I think what's really interesting about that is I feel like that's going to be their own downfall, their refusal to do debates, their refusal to engage. And then you have Orthodoxy, which is like steadily rising, steadily like just coming up right on their heels. And again, I think this is going to be the catalyst that's going to drive a lot of people away from Protestantism, because in reality, like the church has always progressed through rigorous debate and rigorous examination of things.
Right.
But these Protestant guys, they don't want to do it.
They don't want that.
I don't know why.
And how different, I have to say, this is so different from the apologetics world of the late 90s and the early 2000s when I first got into this world. I mean, the big dog was Dr. Greg Bonson. I don't care who you were. if you're Roman Catholic, if you were whatever else, atheist, I mean, people were terrified of debating Greg Bahnsen. He was the big dog, and Bahnsen would just destroy opponents, right? I wished, even though obviously he was a Calvinist, but you know, he was so good. He was probably one of the best debaters of the last century, if not the best debater of the last century. And Bahnsen, you know, died too soon, so we only have a handful of classic Bahnsen debates, maybe 6 or 7 total. I think I've seen them all. Maybe one I haven't gotten a hold of, but you know how vastly different the mindset is from like what it used to be, and even in the 2000s, you know, there was some pretty heavy hitting scholarly type of debate with. You would have Dave Armstrong, you know, going pretty hardcore with sources and citations, and you would have Scott Hahn writing these books, and you would have, you know, this churning out of the, you know, Petrine apologetic stuff, and you had William Webster, and you had James White, and you know, everybody was churning out these books, and there was all of these, you know, high tier, fairly academic types of debates, and then, you know, 2010s, it really kicked off online with not just the religious sphere, but I think Crowder and Shapiro played a huge role through the campus debates and the, you know, challenge me type stuff. And then Blood Sports kicked off with Worski, and that really just made it a whole different thing. And it's just so wild to see the last couple years, this rapid decline in the willingness to do it. It's just crazy. It's like so different than the time of like Greg Bahnsen and Jerry Matitix and, you know, Robertson Jenis. And, you know, he would be out there just, you know, they would have hours of debates on Catholicism, Protestantism, and James White, hours of debates versus all these different, you know, Catholic and other people. It was just so, it was constant, right? You know, even going back to Sam Shamoon, back in the old days, Scam Shamoon, when he was doing all the Muslim debates back when he was a Calvinist or whatever he was, like in those 2000s era, right? It was just so different. And now it's just like the whole thing is meta debate about tone policing. It's just insane to me. Like, I'm trying to think of the last like big scholarly debate. I mean, Trent did a debate with James White, like a year or two ago. I mean, that was a fairly high tier academic debate, and I enjoyed that. And I said that I thought Trent won that debate. So, you know, actually, we had early on when we were on better terms with Trent, we had a pretty fair, I think, positive assessment of Trent when he would make good arguments and do good debates. I think I reviewed most of Trent's earlier debate. Like I think Trent beat, you know, Cosmic Skeptic. We had a very positive assessment of that debate. And so, in the case of Trent, I bring that up because. Trent and I have been basically all throughout yesterday and today going back and forth on email, and we may do a debate. So we are in negotiations to do a debate. I think partly that, you know, Tim Gordon was kind of in the background, and I think he kind of said, look, you know, Jay and I have a good relationship because Jay respects that I was willing to do the debate. So I think that, you know, Trent might be rethinking the strategy of not doing debates. And so we're trying to really come to agreement on the prompts of the debate, and then of course outlets and formats and all that. So, yeah, I'm hopeful that will come to fruition. I think you know, he had a prompt, and then I said, well, if I do your prompt, you have to do my prompt. And so we're kind of negotiating both of the prompts. And, you know, to get Trent to agree to a Vatican debate that relates to politics is a challenge because he doesn't want to do that. And I'm not being unfair to him because he explicitly says he doesn't want to do that. But the thing is, the Vatican has a specific political stance and has had a political stance about itself because it is a political entity. It's not just a religious institution. It also is a city-state. It's recognized in international law as a city-state, right? It has its own kind of sovereign status. And to act like, well, I don't have to defend any of that because that's not relevant to, but you have a theological position on church and state. I believe it's contradicted itself. So I think he kind of admits that. Like he's kind in the emails, he's kind of coming around to the point of like, okay, yeah, there might be a church and state kind of topic that we could debate. So cross your fingers because we're negotiating that, and it might come about. So, Jason,
I'd like to hear your thoughts on this, because when you were saying, the changing of debate tactics, strategies, and quality, coming from my previous New Atheist kind of framework, I think Chris Hitchens was actually sort of like the moment where things changed, because he kind of straddled both lines, and I'd like to hear from you, your opinion on that.
I mean,
he presented himself well as an academic, right, or as an academic thinker, but all his debate style was purely vibes.
Yeah, I mean, him and his brother are interesting characters. I remember we've watched a few of those debates, but there's actually a forgotten debate with Doug Wilson and Hitchens, which is pretty interesting. People have forgotten that they did a tag debate many, many years ago. I want to say it was like maybe even the late 2000s, like maybe even 2006 or 7. There's a classic sort of forgotten Hitchens-Wilson tag debate. And of course, Doug Wilson actually wins the debate, which I'm not at all a fan of Doug Wilson, but he did win that debate because he's using tag. But yeah, I forget about those guys too. They did play a big role in that phase of, I just was never in the New Atheist world, so I didn't really pay much attention to the sort of, 2000 era debates with the New Atheists, although there were many, and of course they were putting out books, but the internet wasn't, you weren't doing a lot of like YouTube debates yet back then. But William Lane Craig, he played a role in it. I just think that to me, it doesn't bother me that there's all sorts of different styles. So there's blood sports. There's, to me, it's like debates like taking over. Like debates everything now. It's pretty crazy. I never would have expected this. I never would have thought it would be this way. Crucible played a big role in that. Worski did too. But, it is what it is. Here we are. So I'm going to say my boomer cliche. It is what it is. Shabos, what's up?
Hi. So going back to Ruslan, or however you say his name,
Ruslan.
kind of moral hypocrisy. He's kind of made himself into the Pope, and I thought Protestants disavow the Pope. He's kind of just said, "Oh, you need to bow to me and meet my terms," and he can't even take accountability for what he's done and has to blame it on other people.
Exactly.
It's pretty much like what Trent did too.
Well, I think these guys understand the currency of attention and channel numbers. And then when people don't care about that and are not worried about it, they don't know what to do. So he doesn't really know what cards to play other than this moral high ground trump card. So, but I think you got some good points there with like, I agree. Heath, what's up? You want to unmute? Heath, you want to unmute?
Hey, Jay.
I'm sorry. I thought you were. You came on right when I was. Come back in. I'll go to you next. Ben, what's up? Sorry about that, Heath. Come back in. Ben.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Uh-huh.
So I was at the Nashville, the Mason debate, and I was shocked at the quality of their answer when it came to how do you know what the Bible is? If your sola scriptura, the only thing that matters is the Bible. How do you not have a good answer to how do you know you have the right Bible? That just it's been blowing my mind ever since I started thinking about that.
Yeah, I'm glad that did briefly come up, and I thought one of the guys who came to the microphone at the end to do the questions, he had a great question for Chase Geiser. He said, because Chase Geiser was asked it earlier in the debate, like, well, why should we accept your Protestant Masonic, list of the canon or whatever? And I forget what he said, but it was something like, because that's what Jesus leads me to believe, or something like that. And some guy in the Q&A was like, hey, I've been reading the Gospel of Jack, and I really believe it's very convincing, and I'm going to stick it in the Bible. Is that cool? And I think they didn't really get the line of argument with that.
No, that was me.
Oh, that was you. Okay, that was yeah.
Says
Oh,
that
yeah.
you have to give Jack all the money and all the women. It's
And then you just say, well, but Jesus led me to believe that. So
well,
what's
no,
the
the
problem?
Gospel of Jack says Jesus said.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, great comments, Ben. I appreciate you coming to the debate. What did you think about the debate overall beyond that point?
I thought that it was hilarious that you got them to admit that they're totally fine with Satanists coming in as long as they lie a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it was so all over the place, right? It was like at one point, like, oh, it's not religious. We don't have any theological criteria. And then within a minute, they're like listing 10 theological things that would exclude you. And it was just so like it was like 2 hours of that, basically, back and forth. Timothy, what's up? I will give the Masons credit for one rhetorical point. I mean, I think it was a blowout. I would say 95%, they were just completely dominated. They did have a good rhetorical retort at the very end, and it was based on the girl who asked the question about the Pledge of Allegiance. So you guys will see this when you watch the debate, but towards the very end of the debate, the girl says, Jay, if you think that the Masonic oath is necessarily religious such that it would compromise you, how could you not make the same argument about saying the Pledge of Allegiance written by that socialist woman, because it would be affirming the Enlightenment generic deity, pledging your allegiance. Thus it would be a form of an oath. So I do think within, like, initially I was like, that is an interesting rhetorical retort. However, and Chase, you guys have really jumped on this. He thought this was like a total gotcha, and he was like really, really running with that one. But the difference is that the Pledge of Allegiance is not a religious initiation, right? So in the Pledge of Allegiance, I can conceivably still believe that, one nation under God refers to the Trinity, right? Because God is a generic term. However, as I argued in the debate, I think convincingly, when you join the Masonic Lodge, you are explicitly having to affirm a generic God in the religious initiation oath. So there is a difference there between, because what they were immediately saying was, why can't I, when joining the lodge, interpret the higher power supreme being to be personally me, Chase Geyser, or the other guy? Personally, that's the Trinity for me. And thus, I'm not violating anything any more than saying the pledge. I grant that they did have a good rhetorical retort at the very end. However, as we dug into the issue, I forced them to admit that it is a religious initiation oath, and that is explicitly demanding that you not have a theological Trinitarian dogma of who the supreme being is when you join the lodge, right? It has to be generic theism. So it is dogmatic. And that actually was the first hour of the debate, was whether or not Masonry has a dogma that you cannot be dogmatic about the Trinity and the deity of Christ. And that's what I labored for 1 hour to demonstrate. I think I did. I think I demonstrated that forcefully in the first hour. And then towards the end of the debate, it came back up. And I think that, and it took Chase a little while to get what I was arguing. But I think it kind of gradually started dawning on him that, I know you say that you don't have dogmas, but when I say, for example, I said, could I join the lodge and be received if I believe that the supreme deity is me? And they sat there and thought about it for a minute, and they said, no, we would not accept you on that basis. And I'm like, so you do have theological criteria? Well, yeah, but no, but it's just supreme being. But it can't be supreme being that it's you. Well, why? Well, because blah, 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 blah. And they list all these theological criteria. I'm like, oh, so you do have a bunch of theological dogmas that exclude people theologically. No, it's not a theology. Well, but it is. Right? So again, the dogma is that you have to have a generic supreme being. Saying the Pledge of Allegiance is not in any way committing me to a religious dogma, a brotherhood. There's no, blood oaths, which Masons do take. So I think it was qualitatively different. Jason? By the way, I forgot to say this in the debate, and somebody later mentioned it to me, and then Jamie mentioned it to me as well as somebody who was at the debate. Masons also, when you go into the lodge, there's actually, you can have the Torah, the Quran, and the Bible up on the altar. So that right there, I think, if I'd have thought to bring that up, would have been an immediate kill shot against their whole line of argument. Jason?
I mean, just briefly, I think that I've said this repeatedly, is that ideologies fail the level of phronema. I think this is where orthodoxy it really overtakes everything, is that you can't, I'd like to hear your thoughts on this as well, is that when you fail the state of being, right, it's not just worldview, but a state of being, you can't be your ideology. Like there's a level at which even the most diehard communist can't be, there is no absolute, there is no ideal, there is no being communist, right? There's just simply like doing the things that communists do, right?
No, I brought that my opening statement was, I asked the audience and them, I know you're not really supposed to ask questions in an opening statement, but I thought rhetorically this would be a good line. I said, do you guys believe that it makes sense to be a Christian and a Gnostic? Do you think it makes sense to be a Christian and a pagan? Do you think that it makes sense to be a Christian and a member of the Communist Party, right? And everybody said no, including the Masons, to almost all of those. So I think that illustrates what you're saying, Jason, right? That like, it's not just a question of notions, it's also praxis, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, well, it's also because I think when people hear phronema, everyone talks about theosis, and that's the big Orthodox word, but phronema is one I think gets slept on, because it's often reduced to worldview, but it's actually a state of being. Like, to be Orthodox in all ways, right? To be Christian in all ways is sort of the pathway towards theosis. So when you start trying to apply that to any ideology, whether it be Masonry or fascism, whatever, right? Any of the isms, right?
Any ism,
liberalism, right? The entire liberal frame,
yeah,
it falls apart, because liberalism can only tell you how to conduct business or how to your laws to enact, but it can't tell you what to do when your dad's dying. It can't tell you how to raise your kid, and every time it tries to, it falls apart. I think that's always why these systems, while we need to work, we need to work against them, we can also sit back and watch them fall apart, because ultimately they're going to reach into areas where they cannot produce answers. They will always be insufficient for human beings on not just a spiritual level, but on a living level, like you said, praxis.
Timothy?
Yes, sir. I was just the other day, I don't remember which channel it was on. Ruslan had come on, and he was kind of crashing out. And through our parasocial relationship, I get defensive of you guys. So I'm sitting there listening to it, and he's kind of bad. It seemed like very veiled but obvious insults. And this was not a long time ago, but long enough ago that I was like kind of made uncomfortable by the whole thing. I was like, well, Jay's always nice about Ruslan, even though. Jay's always been nice about Ruslan, so I don't really see the issue. But this has been a long time coming. Obviously, I think you've figured that part out. I will say he says you behave well during debates, just not outside of them. So it does mean you are allowed to call him a goblin, a demon, and a boomertard, and that's actually okay.
Well, it's interesting that, I mean, how many insults did he throw at us throughout this video, right? So it's a standard that he doesn't actually apply, because if he really thought that, he would not call us spurgs, cult members, all the different insults.
Degenerate gay stuff. Kept on calling us gay.
Gay, degenerate, like all the stuff that he said is just horrendous and unconscionable. All the stuff you just said, dude. Like, so again, if you're gonna do all this, don't try to moral high ground and have your a moral high horse when you're doing all the stuff that you just said, is supposedly the worst stuff. Guy, what's up, man? I'm you.
Hi. I wanted to just mention how he totally hand waved the stuff with Israel.
Yeah, I think that would, I didn't know his position. I forgot that maybe 6 months ago, I asked him if he wanted to do a Christian Zionism Israel debate because I wasn't actually sure of his position. So I forgot. And I just sort of, I don't even know what his position is, but I sort of assumed, well, if he's wanting to debate Nick and Candace, my assumption was that he was like Christian Zionist or maybe leaned that way. But I wasn't sure. So I did ask him if he wanted to do a debate on that. And he, got really defensive, like, oh, I can't believe you asked that. And I don't even care about that. Okay, fair enough. But I don't see why that was even a problem. He invited me to his podcast and we had a debate. The 2 hours at the end is me and him debating justification. So we already kind of had a debate. So I don't understand why he would even see it as a problem for me to ask him to do another debate, right? It's like we already kind of had a debate. So what's the problem?
I think it's optics. Because if he says, oh, I don't support Zionism, or if I do, it's going to just really mess him up because look at what's just happening in politics right now with the Trump stuff.
Right.
And how people are reacting.
Well, is he a big Trump guy or not really? I don't even know what his leanings are.
Oh, I don't know. I'm just saying he won't be, I'm saying he's snaky because he won't talk about it. And the reason
I see. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. He didn't want to say he was pro-Christian Zionist, at least when I asked him, I was like, well, I assumed that you were because you wanted to debate, Candace and Nick or whatever. My assumption was that it was over that. But H. Brazzi, what's up, man? It's 3 a.m. where I'm at, but we might try to wind it up here pretty soon. I got a lot of super chats. So if you disagree, raise your hand. You go to the head of the line. What's up, H. Brazzi?
Yeah, Jay.
Hey.
Yeah, I'm gonna start off by saying I apologize for jumping out last week about the about Trump thing. It was just.
Oh, I don't care.
It was just a spur of the moment thing, It wasn't like I said. It's not like I'm gonna stop following Andrew. I love Andrew. Obviously, he's done a tremendous job, with feminists, leftists, so on and so forth. But after what I've seen from his latest peers interview, this is just one thing that I'm just gonna have to pretty much ignore everything he said on, disregarding Trump, but.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I haven't kept up with Andrew's. I did want to cover the trigonometry discussion because a lot of people are saying that Andrew gave a really good explanation of paradigms that should resonate with people outside of the philosophy theology sphere. So I am interested in covering that. Also want to cover there was something else I saw that he had done. And I wanted to go back to their Joe Rogan appearances too. So I do have some catching up to do there, but I've not seen what you're talking about. I can't believe that Doug Wilson was just
obviously, if you don't want to, it's nothing special. It's him, Mark Lamont Hill, and some chick that I don't know. It's nothing special or whatever. But the 20 or 30 minutes that Marjorie Taylor Greene got before Andrew and everybody else was added onto the panel, that was actually pretty good because it laid the groundwork that made Andrew and Jack. It was Andrew and Jack Posobiec versus those two leftists. It laid the groundwork that actually made Andrew and Jack look so bad because during that 20 to 30 minutes, it was established and pointed out repeatedly that she holds to the positions that she helped Trump or that her, Tucker, and whoever else were campaigning for him back in 2024 and 2023, and he's the one that's changed. And Andrew didn't have, I tweeted this earlier, Andrew did not have the worst moment throughout that entire exchange. Jack Posobiec, and you can see him realize what he was saying in real time. So Piers asked him, sorry, my son's waking up. Yeah, so Piers asked, man, I'm gonna have to get off here in a second. I'm gonna have to shut up. So Piers asked him, that question, just exactly what I just said. So he asked from his perspective, is it Trump that's moved off of the position
Like, what, why would he be so upset at Marjorie Taylor Greene maintaining the positions that he had back during the campaign? And as Jack is talking, he admits to start that yes, it would seem to him that he's the one that's moved off the positions, or Marjorie is staying consistent. But it's his online behavior that's remained consistent, which was completely irrelevant. Like, he just threw that out there. It was the dumbest shit that I've ever heard somebody bring up, like out of nowhere. It had nothing to do with what was being discussed.
You're saying Posobiec's argument?
Yeah, I have no idea like why he even said that. It was the weirdest thing ever. So, but he did. Well, he didn't explicitly say it, but him admitting that it is Marjorie that's maintained the same position and not Trump. That's a concession right there. Like, you're admitting that he has moved off of his campaign promises. So, and I'm like. Again, I'm not bashing. All right, so I'm just gonna leave the whole Andrew thing on. Like I said, just moving forward, this is just one thing that I'm kind of like, me and Andrew just ain't gonna see eye to eye on, and that's fine. That's fine. But there was one more thing that I had. So the only reason I'm up is because I was up for 3 hours trying to get into this really big sports bros. He was running a space or whatever, and I know he's a Zionist, like he's a hardcore Zionist, and I was waiting 3 hours to get in. I kept spamming people's DMs, like everybody that came up before me, and he finally let me in. I was in his space for 1 minute and 30 seconds before he realized like what my profile picture was, and he started asking. So as soon as I said Israel is the snake, he kicked me. Immediately kicked me. That kind of pissed me off, man. And I didn't even think you'd still be up here, so I just decided to call in real quick.
Appreciate it. Yeah, this was I wasn't expecting Ruslan to crash out, but we had a late night Ruslan crash out. So who disagrees? Raise your hand. You go to the headline. We're going to try to wind it up here, and I'll read the super chats. Anybody disagree in the lineup here? We got 6 people. Anybody, raise your hand if you disagree. You go to the headline. Anybody? Emojis? Disagrees? Nobody disagrees? You're sending up a heart. Does that mean you disagree or do you agree? I don't know what does the heart mean? You love me? Is that your love language? Ruslan says we have to use love language, so. B-May says for $10, I grew up Baptist. I read Orthodox Church Aware. Started reading Religion of the Apostles by Father Stephen Young. I, by the way, am still intending to eventually finish that. I've only read the first 2 chapters, but I do intend to get through it. Visiting Theology by Mindor. Please pray for me. We're attending our first liturgy. Yeah, absolutely, man. We'll pray for you. Citadel, not lost $10. I was initiated into Greek Orthodoxy. This was the night before Holy Week. You played a very important role, Christos and Esty. That's great to hear, Citadel. Many years. In the Filth, hey, he trying to step to you. We called him jaywalking. Exactly. Malcolm, $5. Keep Ruslan's name out your mouth. Ruslan about to throw holy hands with you. Put some respect on that name. Shepherd, $5. Jay wearing a FUBU shirt. The attitude that Jay is sporting is also made by FUBU. All black everything. Exactly. It's my people. Social B, $2. Have you heard of the rapper Sanctified Flow? He Orthodox. No, I'm not. I don't know about Orthodox rappers, dog. So Kiki, $5. We got to make disciples. Do this BS fat waste of time. You look ridiculous to atheists. I disagree. I don't think making fun of Protestants and the ridiculousness of Protestantism is in some way wrong or evil. Or I think Protestants do a great job of making clowns of themselves. So no, I do not at all feel bad. Somebody commented on the YouTube channel. They said, why are you arguing with Ruslan? There's monsters to go after instead of Ruslan. And I said, well, Protestantism is a monster. So it's a monstrous heresy. Dark Sickle, $3. Check out P.O. Mall Jono song, just not over it. Okay. CS, thank you for that dollar. Dr. Evo, shout out to our Cringecore producer. The new Cringecore song featuring Dr. Crack Rock, Captain Crack Rock, Harriet Tubman. It's complete. It's even got smoke alarm chirps in the song. You might not be able to hear the chirps though, because you're BIPOC. Exactly. So I'll try to turn it up. You know what I'm saying? If I could hear it. Tingu, $10. I see all the bets are off now with Ruslan. I can say this is fucking hilarious. I don't know. I mean, he agreed to the debate multiple times and then has changed and said, I must publicly repent. So I think people should just call him out and say, dude, come on, this is gay. You already agreed to do a debate. He doesn't have to publicly repent and, bow before you. Flavius, $100. Who beat a Belarusian Belisarius? That would be me, dude. But thank you, Flavius, for that. That's one of my many titles as Emperor of Xanthium. Dude, bro, $5. Is this the like Tupac versus Biggie beef? Well, I am closer to the East Coast and he's closer to the West Coast, so that would make me Biggie, and they would make him Tupac, who likes to wear dresses. So Tupac was a little effeminate, so perhaps. Jaquarius, Jay, more like J Rock, exactly. Flavius, $50. Shit, Jay coming off finna Korean hyper war victory, hot as F. Thank you. Exactly. He feels me. Egg of Christ, $5. Ruslan KD, more like Russian KGB. Ooh. Well, Emmanuel, 50 Mexican dollars. Who this loser-on calling you a homie? He a snake. Silent, $5. He said in the comments he tried to call you, he didn't answer. Well, I blocked him after all that. So when he blew me off, I just blocked him. I blocked him on the phone too. Boomer Slayer, $10. What's up? Phronema, who works third shift? Jay Dyer. Say this in the soprano voice. Which soprano? You made to sing it in soprano or Tony Soprano? Who did Jay Dyer? Why did we don't get the third shift? Carmella, Gabagool. Dude, bro, this is 50 Cent versus Ja Rule, but white boys. I'm not white. I'm BIPOC. Mangozi, $20. Get yourself an extra egg, brother. Thank you. Tingu, you post apologize, but you didn't do nothing. Exactly. What I'm supposed to apologize for? What I didn't do nothing. I mean, come on, dude. Who demands public repentance and apology for saying you're a pretentious dick? You must publicly apologize, right? Whatever. So, okay, whatever. None of your business, $10. Ruslan ain't nothing but a no-word popo. He ain't got dressing for his salad. He trying to bring that J Dizzle barbecue. What a fool. We ain't eating salad, dog. Get triggered, $5. I think Rus-run tried to scrape people off from the audience. Well, if anybody who wants to go to Ruslan from this audience, I don't want them in the audience, so they can move on to Ruslan. D Jules, $5. Ruslan don't want no smoke. He's stuttering. Steven, $5. Can you debate ancient Israel only? These are a people. I'm restarted. It would be a slam dunk. I mean, is that the Black Hebrew Israelites? I mean, I'm trying, dude. I debated Captain Crack Rock twice. Dang. What else I'm supposed to do? I see myself, Gabriel, as a damn profile. How am I debating me? What's up, dude?
Hey, what's up, man? Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, what's up? Thank you for granting me access. It was just a low.
Well, you haven't paid the $500. You ain't paid the $500 crypto access fee yet, though.
Yeah, man, it was a good therapy session from Ruslan. Ultimately,
are you speaking the love language?
Of course, 1,000%. But no, I just wanted to kind of touch on. I'm a catechumen. I'm 21. And I just wanted to.
Oh, you're a catechumen. Perhaps you would like to enter Ruslan's debate league.
Yeah, put me on stage, man. I'll get.
I'm just joking.
But no, again, I wanted to say thank you, obviously, because I do think that, you're in a position where, you have people that follow you, and the people that are obviously against orthodoxy, they will say specifically that you are the face of online, or, whatever that even means, and I know that it's...
I don't want to be anymore, so we can bring some other people up. We'll let Alex, and we'll let, Father Stephen DeYoung, and, all these other people can be the face of it, because I don't want to be the face of it. You guys can have some new people to hate. Have some new people to hate on.
But, ultimately, one thing that I noticed, and this is a bigger issue with, Ruslan and kind of the fake piety, right? The piety signaling that happens, right? Ultimately, it's better to be an authentic piece of shit than to be a fake pious individual. Because at least with the authentic piece of shit, you know what you're getting.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So that's why I think like it's you know the beautiful thing that I found about Orthodoxy is that, you know, we have different saints, and they were saints for many different reasons. You know, not all saints had the same personalities. They all shared the virtues. You know, you had emperor saints. You know, if Ruslan read some, sorry, were you saying something?
No.
Yeah, if Ruslan read any quotes from Saint John Chrysostom that were a little forward to the West, you know, there's some hefty quotes, you know, and you know he'd probably think, oh my God, that's so mean. And I think that's just more of a Western issue. So, you know, usually these things crack down, you know, eventually. I think that the reason as a catechumen, our church has exploded, you know, online, or, you know, the fact is that debating has helped. It has shown people that worldviews, you know, there are trash worldviews, and Orthodoxy gives a proper account for a lot of things that other worldviews can't. And to say that, you know, a lot of critiques, like I have to defend you in my church, my OCA parish, man. You know, I'm getting martyred every
You don't
Sunday.
have to defend me. Just
No, I know, but I have to sit at a table and justify. I come to Orthodoxy through. I came to Orthodoxy. It started through, you know, listening to people online, and I do think, like, you know, the critiques that are levied against people, that people are mean. Isn't the church like a healing place? I mean, you go to the church to heal, to grow as a man, right? You're not gonna. I don't know why people expect people to enter into the church in like this extreme, like this pious state, and there's no there, you know, these men are going to enter
Well,
the
you
church.
got to understand, man, that for the Protestants, that's what the religion is, right? Because they don't have the actual thing. It's replaced with performative online praying and preaching. Like that's what the religion is performative. So yeah.
Well, yeah, but I mean, other than that, that's why I don't want to take too much of your time. But
Well, thanks,
you know,
Gabe.
look, I'm an MMA fighter. You know, he was talking about MMA fighting. You know, so you know, God willing, I make it to the UFC. You know, I'm gonna shout out all the ortho bros, man, on the mic. You know, we'll get it all shout out and everything.
All right, appreciate that, Gabriel. That's funny.
God bless, man. God bless, man.
By the way, I just have to tell you guys, unfortunately, through inflation, access just went up to 1 million Rus coin. So you will no longer have access unless you immediately send me 1 million Rus coin. You can send that to my wallet. I'll put the crypto address, and then you will have access to my inner circle. It's now 1 million Rus coin through inflation. Kilroy, what's up? Jay Britt, I got asked to cover night shift. Glad to be here with the Wixantium Emperor. Exactly. You're blessed to be in my presence. Crazy how phony the online stuff is. More like Rus slop, says Aristotle. Thank you, Aristotle. BW since 50 bucks and says, I was bored as heck at work. Thank you. Thank you, BW. Appreciate that big fat super chat. You guys are already have beat the super chat goal here. Old Fox, what's up? Pro Zilts, $20. Funko Pop song or we riot? Come on, man. I tell you what, I'll start the next episode. I'm just so tired, dude. It's like 3 in the morning. But $20 million, that actually comes out to about 3,455 Rus coin. So I will play it in the next live stream. AI, what's up? For $5 says, hold up. Black Kang. Thank you. We was Kang says, be cursed in the filth. Jaywalking. Oh, we read that earlier. Put some respect on it. We up for a Dyer versus Ruslan. That is Kendrick versus Drake. This is the rap beef. This is funny. Ale Frick, $5. What's up? Silent, $5. He said in the comments he tried to call you. We read that already. Boomer Slayer, what's up? $10 since 3 Kangs. What's up? Third Shift. Yep, what's up? Thank you. Welcome to the new members. The member section. Appreciate that. You're my favorite BIPOC creator. Thank you, Average. Appreciate that. The soft serve font for Ruslan took me out, says D Jules. Appreciate that. Ruslan was chasing Fuentes for a year, made 10 videos, but won't debate Jay because he's too mean. This is because Ruslan's a grifter and he's inconsistent. Yeah. 40 crush, $20. Tax refund. Tinfoil hat, $10. Yo, my brother, when are you going to debate Bishop Don Magic Jawan, dog? He can debate pimpology. I don't debate people who also have pimpostolic succession. Tribulation saying $10. I tuned in late. Jay, your Orthodox Flavor Flav. Mad respect. Christ is risen. God bless you. Indeed, he is. Appreciate that. Thoughts on Bryce J? User says, we've been chatting a lot. We seem to agree on everything, so I don't have anything negative to say about Bryce J at all. Ego Christ, $10. Is Ruslan gay Diddy or gay or Diddy? You guys will have to make that determination. Ruslan started talking about 3 ways. That was gross, dude. Register, $2. Yeah, I fixed it. Thank you. Alan Jackson with a pimp name and a cane. We them kings. All right, I'll take Alan. I do look a little bit like Alan Jackson. I don't have that mullet, though. Maybe I need to grow a mullet, be like Alan Jackson. Noah Schumer, $5. These Protestants don't want to end up like Dawa. They got no energy. Straight up, or the Dawa guys had straight up hoe energy. Well, the Protestant debate sphere is dying, as is the Roman Catholic and the Dawa. So they're all going. So I think Trent's kind of the last line here. And I mean, Gavin Ortland's not going to debate anybody. So it's dwindling, dude. It's drying up. D Jules, $5. Ruslan should have retold the video. Something like Jay just annoys me. I think that's probably what it is. None of your business, $5. We got Ruslan acting like Wusslan. He don't want smoke. He just being a joke. He be talking about clout goblins, but the clout got nothing. Eli Nix, faith versus works. Okay, faith is a work, debate over. Yeah, exactly. I make that argument. Byzantine, $5. His exegetus is worse than diabetes. What's exegetus? What does that mean? His exegetus worse than diabetes. Okay, you guys are rapping now. Just following ancient faith's path downhill. None of your business, $5. That was D. Jules. Ruslan claims no one called in. What does he mean? He did a call in? He's jealous and nobody wants to call in. I didn't know he did call in. Are you joking? You're being serious. Mr. Jellyfish, that's amazing. That's amazing. That's amazing. Dean says $20 for all the non-Ruslan content that you've put out in the past few months. There's much. Bless Ali G Incorporated is a spec on the radar for all the non-Ruslan content. I don't know what you mean. I mean, I mentioned him twice in the last 6 months, I think. Reckon steady, $5. Ruslan said he sought counsel, but his counsel is JP Uncut. Yeah, exactly. These weirdos that we already had the debate that Ruslan says I didn't have. Wise counsel. Yeah, is that just his like goober buddies like Mahler or whoever that guy is? Reckon $75. Part 2, Cleve Antiquity. Why are Catholics fleeing in droves? With Sebastian. Yeah, I mean, I saw the clip of those guys saying we told Ruslan not to debate, but who are these dudes and why does it matter what these guys like? Why are we supposed to think that like? Who cares what these guys say? Why are they advising Ruslan? I mean, these are just like rando dudes on YouTube. You got hate in your heart because you're a murderer, says Mr. Jellyfish. We got a lot of Jesse Lee Petersons in the chat suddenly. Alexander Kane, Jay, get a broccoli haircut, then I'll debate you. Probably. Flavius says for $10, you the Pope. Give me Muslim prayer room and shit. Yeah, exactly. That's my papal that's my papal crozier right here. This. Right? Ruslan, you only half right, dude. I'm not just the Pope of the Ortho Bros. I'm the Emperor of Wixantium. Get it right. Groove Monster, $10. Thank you for helping me to convert to Orthodoxy out of libertarianism and non-denominational BS. It's good to hear, man. Appreciate you, and you've been a long time super chatter.
Seraphim Moan, $5. Collab with Luke Smith. He came to the conference in Florida and hung out with me and Cleve and Luigi and everybody. And he was a really cool guy. We had some good conversations, so I'm open to that. Koliamek, $5. I've been reading recommended authors on essence synergy distinction. Any other than Palamos? Oh yeah, to read Dr. David Bradshaw's books. That's the best. I mean, St. Nicholas Cabasilas also discusses the energies. I've been reading more St. Gennadios, which it's good. I mean, it's very technical. Like it's geared towards trying to sway Thomists, which I don't think is going to be that successful. But I mean, he does have a good refutation of the Thomistic view of the energies, so he is valuable in that regard, and he's post Palamas. Losky's great on the energies. Meyendorf's great on the energies. I mean, all of the, Orthodox theologians that we tend to recommend are usually all pretty good on that. Jellyfish, Epstein versus Stephen Hawking. Okay. Phronema, we need a Thomist Dyer versus present day Dyer debating ancient Sumatran time portals. Well, that's what I'm going to talk to Candace about when I get on a debate with Candace. Photios, $5. The only regret I have about Ortho Bro is that I wasn't one sooner. Thank you for your content. Welcome to the cult, brother. Let us love bomb you with love language. Western Maximus, $5. This is my love language for a real representative of the BIPOC community. Exactly. You guys get it. Western Maximus, $8. I've always thought the refusal to debates is such a point for orthodoxy. They have nothing but excuses and crying, both Protestants and Papists, and Muslims now. They're essentially the same. Christian Potzakai, $5. I wish that you and Jim Bob Andrew would do a show like whatever. That would be difficult because, like, whatever is, he has to constantly schedule all those crazy chicks to come in. That would be a nightmare to try to handle. JB says, debates are old news. We got to start making wagers that whoever's faith is true will just simply survive walking through a bonfire. That would be a good test. Exactly. Llama, $5. When do we start making ortho bro communes and farms? When are we organizing? Wouldn't that be great to do like a joke, like set up a troll cult, like Orthodox cult commune, and then troll Ruslan with it, but make it look like it's kind of real, and then have it like somebody's on the inside of the cult exposing it, and then they send Ruslan the video, and then he exposes us, and then it turns out it was all a big troll. That would actually be funny. We should do that. Create a fake Ortho Bro commune cult, and then give the expose to Ruslan and let him not realize it's a joke. Terry J. Mormonism has weird. Look up Angel and Sorcerer, the remarkable origins of Mormonism. Okay, I think Jamie bought a book just like that, which is like a vast scholarly work on the history of Mormonism and the occult. Max Sauce, $10. I'm sure you saw this, but have you been approached about debating LDS apologist Jacob Hansen? God Logic already grilled. I mean, he's already debated like God Logic and Trent Horn, and I don't know if anybody. I think he's come up. I think he called in one time. I can't remember, but I don't know. Maybe. Ruslan's projecting so hard he's just confessing. D. Jules says that was Alex's assessment. Ruslan has an identity issue, hence he got a Wigger accent. $5. Mr. Max Sauce, $10. No, that we read that. Excuse me. Dang, man, I'm getting tired. There's a lot of super chats. Olaf says it's important to remember that they are not brothers and sisters. They're in heterodox communions. Correct. We will keep converting people while they have endless schisms. Yeah, he has to understand that's our perspective. And he thinks that's being a cult. To say that there's one true church, well, Paul says one Lord, one faith, one body, one baptism. So I guess Paul's in a cult too. Fort Buscus, $5. Jay ain't wants to be debating no apostolic succession, as Wiglon said. Wiglon. Ruslan couldn't have a 5-minute conversation, but he had time to make a 26-minute edited video.
Making sure I didn't miss any. Okay, I think I got all of them there. Canned noodle says for 100 SARS. I don't know what that currency is. Did you see Piers Morgan say that no Pope would ever support a war? No, I mean, Piers has some of the most incorrect historical and Roman Catholic takes I've ever heard. I'd like to come back on. I don't wait for that. I keep messaging him and they keep saying, yeah, we'll get you back, But I don't know what's going to happen. I'd love to go on. And I said today, hey, have me on to debate Doug Wilson. Maximus, $5. Ruslan, no, he did that. Mega Church Rant, $5. Egg of Christ. Bumblebee says for $5. Ruslan's channel is just fake piety, like TM. It's like a fake piety version of TMZ. Fake piety TMZ. That's funny. Jay spitting facts while Ruslan smoking cracks. Says none of your business. The rap comments are cracking me up here. Vaquero says for $5. Why did the Orthodox Church remove the grocery store from verse of Genesis, Jay? Is it called that nasty? That's amazing. JB, what's up? Thank you. Pro Zilch. Aren't they all former, quote, gangsters, but they don't want to talk to nobody? They're very Skittles. Is that Ruslan's crew? They're all like ex-gangsters. I didn't know that. All right, guys, thank you so much. Head on over to chalk.com. Use promo code J60Life. Support the supporters of this channel. Fun late night stream. I'm sorry I crashed out. I'm so upset.